Yeah, bruv, the game ain't hard when you got the trump card. It's all rigged and I'm calling more games than Bob Uecker. Changing the outcomes like Duke Nukem to a new future. Win some, lose some, bag some, choose none. Will the aliens come save the day? Are we going to listen to what they say? The uranium, cranium, aliens popping up like circadians. Got me spontaneously training in the Palladium gymnasium. Ultimate battle in the extraterrestrial stadium. It really just be the Mediterranean and Sylvanians. Bloodlines, overtime, dragon descendants. Scripting bread and circus lizards in attendance. Serpent queens, breaking dreams, dragging me down. The underworld royalty is all about how much you can clown. I'm talking about the number 9-2. If you didn't know, well now you do. Numerous fears, what's in the hearse? I am who I am, man with a plan. Where you at with the rebellion? 1 in a million, us against a billionaire reptilians. Look at the word rebellion, spells out the same as the rebel lion. Ain't even trying, ain't living, you're dying. Well done to the skeleton, no time for the rebellion. Strawmen led by spellmen, dialectic Hegelian. Everyone's worked up, waiting for the aliens. Problem, reaction, solution, little contribution. The script tells that they cast.
What's up, everybody?
Like nuclear fusion, spreading confusion, lie distribution. Old as hell, ain't even some new shit.
Best night of the week. What's up, coffee? Thumbs up.
Spontaneously training in the Palladium gym.
What's up, JM?
Ultimate battle in the extraterrestrial stadium. It really just be the Mediterranean.
Let's go. Thank you, Maggie. Thank you, coffee.
The uranium, cranium, aliens popping up like circadians. Got me spontaneously
Golden's in the house.
Ultimate battle in the extraterrestrial stadium. It really just be the Mediterranean Transylvanians. Will the aliens come save the day? Are we gonna listen to what they say?
What's up, everybody? Happy Tuesday. Best night of the week. Welcome back to another episode of Eye to Eye with AJ, Rambo, and Myron. Cody's coming later. Don't worry about it. Good to see everybody. First thing, mic check 212. Rambo, Myron, can you guys hear me okay?
I can hear you.
Yes, sir.
Fantastic. Thank you guys so much for joining. Thank you, everybody in the chat, for all the love and the support. Looking forward to another beautiful episode. Myron's got some amazing slides for us. That's going to coincide really well with a lot of what Rambo's going to kick us off with tonight. I want to take one quick second and wish a very happy birthday to Adam the Illusion. Happy birthday, Adam, wherever you're at, and also to our beloved Ricky. What are the odds they have the same birthday? So just wanted to wish them both a happy birthday. Throw it out in the chat. Let's get started. Intros. My name is AJ, Balll Don't Lie, 3 L's in Ball. You guys can find all of my work here on YouTube where we're streaming tonight, as well as on my Instagram page. Feel free to send me an email anytime you guys want at wordplaybook, 3 O's in book @gmail.com. I've written 11 books at this point, got a lot of content, more than happy to share that with you if you guys are interested. And shout out to Golden Age Deception. Golden Age and Myron have been doing a lot of serious work on the back end, and can't wait to get you back in here, Golden Age. So good to see you too, my friend. Without further ado, Rambo, please let the viewers know where they can find you and support you if they're not familiar with your work.
Yeah, thank you again for having me. And yeah, and for promoting my channel. There it is on the screen, patreon.com/thetruthcodes. And there's only one tier. It's $5 a month. And you have access to the Codebreaker community Discord server. And you see the great contributions from the patrons. They're brilliant patrons. And you can also join for free. There is some free content as well. And I am also on Instagram.com/thetruthcodes.
Spelt exactly how it sounds. $5 a month, not a day, not a week, you guys. Seriously, give him a shot. Seriously. Throw him $5 and watch what he will take your $5. You know what I mean? You won't regret it. Myron, please let the viewers know where they can find you.
Yes, sir. Hello, everybody. You can find me on Instagram at He Got Game H3 GOTTGAM3 with an underscore. That's where I post all of my work. Keeping up with the slides, and again, always here, always a pleasure. Thank you again for having me for another week.
Absolutely. Let's dive right into it. Rambo, I know you got some stuff for us. You already got the request to me. So let me unshare my screen. Now to you.
Right. So this is my latest Instagram post. So if you go to Instagram.com/thetruthcodes, this is just the short 2.5 minute video that I have. And I will have a longer, much more in-depth video based on my findings here. And they all have to do with the Artemis launch by NASA. So this is the
Baphomet, a familiar figure. It has a deeper esoteric meaning than some may realize. Artemis II, NASA moon mission. Its occulted roots are related to the Baphomet. The Baphomet is a goat. The Artemis II logo turned upside down is a goat head. Baphomet has to be read in reverse and then divided into 3 to reveal its hidden code. In reverse, Baphomet is Tem off Ab. Tem is Templum, temple, off from Google. Quote, the off component in language often refers to the serpent or snake specifically rooted in the Greek office, which carries deeper symbolic meanings of wisdom, knowledge, and sometimes esoteric or occulted truth. Unquote. Sophia, a wisdom goddess of Gnosticism. Philosophy, wisdom. Ab is Abbas, which means father. Quote, Abbas often derives from the Aramaic Hebrew term Abba, meaning father or daddy, representing a term of respect, intimacy, or paternal authority. The reverse of Baphomet, Tem, off, Ab, means Tem, temple, off. The wise, Ab, father, temple of the wise father. The wise father could be either Solomon or Yahweh. This is why the leader of the Artemis II moon mission was named Wiseman. He represented Solomon, off Ab, the wise father. Solomon's temple has twin pillars, Sol, O, Mon, Sol, sun, Mon, moon, sun, moon, Sol, Mon. One pillar of Solomon's temple is the male sun. The other is the female moon. The Greek sun god was Apollo. The very first NASA moon mission was Apollo 11. Apollo had a twin sister who was the moon goddess Artemis. The name of the latest moon mission, sun, moon, like the male-female Baphomet mission Artemis II, was alchemical ritual magic.
Unbelievable, Rambo. Sometimes when I'm so blown away, I just kind of start smiling and chuckling, like just at how amazing your work is and how amazing this web that we live in. That was short, sweet, to the point, absolutely beautiful. Maggie says, great job, Rambo. JM, everybody in here giving you a lot of love for that. And I'll just say this, something that kind of, hit my brain the last week since we talked about the National Basketball Championship. Michigan, right? Go blue. Go blue. That's their whole phrase. Well, it takes me back to Blue Origin. Blue Origin, Katy Perry, You're Gonna Hear Me Roar. And then who just won the Masters? Back to back. Rory McIlroy.
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Like I was just like, oh my God, all three of those just fit so perfectly. Blue Origin, go Blue, Michigan. Look at the Masters. Then you got, just it's just amazing, dude. And then on top of everything that you just added to, Rambo, shout out to you, brother.
Yeah, thank you. Also, so I actually do have some Katy Perry connections as well. Funny that you mentioned that. Katy Perry with her connection to space flight. But yeah, so the theme here is the male-female duality, like yin yang. That is our major theme. And I have a 20-minute, approximately 20-minute video, or 25-ish, which expands on this. And it all revolves primarily around Jack Parsons, because Jack Parsons is one of the key founding members of NASA. He co-founded JPL, Jet Propulsion Labs, and it's known in NASA that JPL also stands for Jack Parsons Labs, and it's also an established fact that Jack Parsons was a very high-level magician who engaged in sex magic, and that's why you see. So this is at the founding of NASA. So it's not just this one person who's influential in NASA, and in his private life, he was into, some major sex magic. He's a major founder of NASA. This is part of NASA. This is not just him in his private life and everybody else is just left-brained engineers. No, this is part. So this is what my channel is about, showing how what I call the mystery elements. They're like the building blocks, you could say, of this world we live in, if you can use the euphemism of a matrix. You can't just look at things on the surface or in terms of like left-brained. No, it's those mystery elements, things like this magic.
Rambo, could I add another like example to what you're saying right now? Shout out to you, Rambo. Seriously, like I was all about the numbers and it's still very important, but you have always challenged me to look above that, like more simply. It's more profound, but it's more simple than just even the numbers. Another example, Tiger Woods. I started my YouTube channel a little over a year ago, and the very first video I ever did was called Love is in the Air. And that was about Tiger Woods with Vanessa Trump, right? And then my fifth video was called Roar, when Rory McIlroy won last year. So I say all that to say this. Tiger Woods is in the news again right when Michigan, go Blue, wins the college basketball championship and right when the Masters happens again. And, he goes through his whole DUI story again in where? Jupiter, Florida. Wasn't it in Jupiter?
Yeah, I think it was there. That's where he lives. I believe that's where it was. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think that's a coincidence. It goes back to kind of what, just paying tribute to what you're saying, Rambo, is like, it's all right there. Like Tiger Woods is here again. Once again, I am the eye of the tiger, blah, blah, blah. You're going to hear me roar. And then you got Tiger. Then you got, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's all right there. So shout out to you, Rambo. Sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, thanks. So this is at the heart of not just NASA, everything in the world we live in. And yes, NASA was founded by magicians, as well as, and a lot of high-level magicians are also academic as well. So they aren't separate. They understand left and right brain. And so you'll see that alchemy and some of the hermetic principles, which are the yin yang, are at play. I'd imagine everywhere, but here with Artemis. So who's Artemis? Artemis is the Greek moon goddess, who's the twin sister of Apollo, who's the sun god. So Artemis and Apollo, they're twins. Those are the twin pillars of Solomon's temple. It's the male and the female, the polar opposite pillars of Solomon's temple. And Solomon's temple it's allegorical. It's not a literal place. People who take it as a literal place are just left-brained and have some other agenda. It's a metaphor for something much deeper. So the twin pillars of Solomon's temple is male, female, yin yang, which is exactly what the Baphomet symbolizes: male, female. You see the hands of the Baphomet above, below. It's the human animal. So, like, a higher level being. You'd say, or animals are lower level in the sense that they don't have the consciousness that humans have. You see the white moon, black moon. It's all about yin yang, the opposite, male, female, and which is exactly what the twin pillars are. It's the male pillar, female pillar, the pillars of Kabbalah, Hesed, and Geborah. Hesed is male, Geborah is female. In Freemasonry, it's Jachin and Boaz. Jachin is male, Boaz is female. And again, so that's what Baphomet stands for. You have to break it into three and reverse it. Baphomet, it's Tem, Of, Ab. Temple, Of means wisdom, Ab, short for Abbas, which means father. It's temple of the wise father. Who is the wise father? What is the temple of the wise father? The wise father is Solomon. It's Solomon's temple. And that's so that's one of the meanings of Baphomet. And there's so much more to this, which I will illustrate in my video. And I do have some connections with Michael Jordan, but no, I can stop for now because he has some of the symbolism that quoted into Michael Jordan and other events that have happened. And I do have some Katy Perry observations as well, since you mentioned her. But yeah, I got this. It's what I have for now.
Yeah, and we'll let it flow. Amazing, Rambo. Myron, anything you wanted to add on to what Rambo just shared? Because I know that Rambo also has mentioned that a lot of what you're going to share too, and what is also on his Instagram page right now. He got game. E's or threes. It's all out there. Anything to add, Myron?
I just been paying attention to the area where Artemis took off. Like the Florida piece is big for me because of the like we have been talking the last couple of weeks about the Bam Adebayo connection. And I've been covering the wrestlers, but like Bam Bam Bigelow is a huge piece for me because he used to wear the flames in his attire, but he was accompanied by a female. Her name was Luna, which is the moon, and has to do with like the astrology and taking off on the moon. So hopefully I can find something and maybe have something to add to that when it comes to that. But definitely like where Artemis took off has been catching my attention, the Florida piece.
And Myron, really quick, you just reminded me, Rambo, I haven't had a chance to really share this wordplay with you. You know how much I love that. But think about Bam Adebayo, right? He had his 83-point game surpassing Kobe in the year 26, Bryant 26, all that. And then what happened a couple weeks later? The death of Africa Bambaataa. Bambaataa, Bam Adebayo. You see what I'm saying? Murder 83. Like that connection is what I started thinking about, especially because Bam Adebayo's birthday is that 18-7 number, which is, the homicide code in LA. But anyways, I just wanted to like that wordplay. I was like Bam Adebayo, and then Bambaataa dies right after.
Yeah, and I was talking to AJ also about that because his real name is, what's it, L something Taylor.
Yeah. Like
his
yeah.
His first name starts with the L, but it's look it up really quickly.
Yeah, and the other thing is Bam Adebayo has that African descent too. He's from New Jersey. Yeah. But anyways, yes, Lance Taylor.
Yeah, so his name is Lance Taylor, and then the wrestler Lance Taylor is from New York, and Bam Bam Bigelow's last match was against the New York Giants' Lawrence Taylor, also. So the Bam connections there. Yeah, his last match was at WrestleMania against Lawrence Taylor when he was a part of the New York Giants.
Okay.
Yeah, you mentioned Bam Bam Bigelow's female companion being Luna.
Yeah.
Luna is also the name of one of the congressional leaders into the hearings into UFOs and UAPs in Congress at the moment. Her name is Anna Paulina Luna. And her name, obviously, she's picked for her name and other things. But she's one of the congressional leaders into the disclosure. They're giving testimony from members of the U.S. government. They give it's under oath. They give their rank.
Yeah.
Testifying to the evidence of UAPs, advanced aerial craft, which are not from Earth, and even bodies. They actually have, and they're giving testimony on that. But her name, Anna Paulina Luna, she's in the news now. She's actually very important. There's so much going on. Maybe some people,
makes sense.
Yeah, some people may have taken their eye off the UAP hearings. Well, you're going to keep hearing about it because it's going to be a thing. So the whole disclosure thing is it's a big thing. But Luna, she's a big figure in that.
Okay, that makes sense.
She's a representative from Florida. She actually looks like Kobe Bryant's wife, Vanessa. She looks a lot like Vanessa Bryant, and their birthdays are a day apart.
Wow. Yeah, it was that like May 6th or 7th or something like that.
Yeah. And there must be I talked about how Bam Adebayo, how the volcano went off the day he scored the 83. There's whole that volcano symbolism, and the god of volcanoes of Rome was Vulcan, and Vulcanalia is the 23rd of August, which is Kobe Bryant's birthday, and it was Kobe Bryant's record that Bam Adebayo broke. So it all ties in. So Vulcanalia, that's 823. That's Vulcan. That's where volcano comes, the volcano god. And Kobe Bryant's birthday, Bam Adebayo breaks his record, and the volcano goes off the day he breaks his record. And it's, Kobe Bryant was born on the day of celebration of the Roman volcano god. So those are those. I think there's actually there's a volcano, another volcano going off, and I can't remember. There's another one that's spewing a lot of ash at the last. I don't know if it stopped. I can't remember where that was, but that's another tie-in. So with Vanessa Bryant, she looks like Anna Paulina Luna. Like they look related. Like they could be sisters at least.
Okay.
But the name Luna, with the moon.
The name Anna has been kind of standing out to me too. And I actually caught up with Ricky earlier today. We were talking about that, but like think about like Savannah Guthrie. Think about how Bryce James's mom, aka LeBron's wife, Savannah. There's just a lot of Annas. I don't even want to get too off topic here, but just that Luna connection's crazy.
I do have some more Jordan. How Michael Jordan's kind of quoted with what I've talked about here with the Baphomet.
Sure, yeah.
But it looks like there's a comment here.
I just wanted to shout out Golden Age. Says Jupiter is the planet of luck and abundance, finally ending its retrograde and going direct on 3/10, the 69th day of the year, like how Bam is a Cancer. Good stuff. Maggie says Jesus's grandmother's name is Anna. I didn't even know Jesus. Wait, Jesus has a grandmother? I never thought about that.
Yeah.
Huh. Okay. Rambo, back to you, man.
I'll just do show you how Jordan is also coded with a lot of these same themes. So and you can see right off the bat what's the first thing. The Baphomet is a goat. And this is and I actually shout out patron Kiwi. Kiwi is the one who, it didn't occur to me, pointed out to me that when you turn the logo of the Artemis 2 upside down, what you're actually looking at is a goat head. So shout out to Kiwi. It didn't occur to me. But that was a big part of the whole decode. Once he told me that this was a goat, I was able to connect these other dots. So shout out to Kiwi for pointing this out. But they're the horns and the goat face. It's the Artemis logo upside down. Now, if you remember, this is an incident I've talked about on Michael Jordan's birthday in 2025, which is February 17th.
On runway 23.
On runway 23 in Toronto, Canada, Delta Airlines flight 4819 turned upside down. And this is a big part of what I've talked about here, the alchemical male-female yin-yang ritual symbolism. Like the aircraft crashed upon landing on runway 23. That's Michael Jordan's number on Michael Jordan's birthday. So I've talked at length about this. So much ties into this, and it turned upside down. Now, why did it turn upside down? Well, if you look at the iconography, this is a pretty standard Freemason iconography. It shows the twin pillars, Boaz and Jachin. This is the J, this is the B, this is the male pillar, this is the female pillar. And you can see what the symbol for a male is the triangle that's right side up. And female is the triangle that's facing downward. So it's on the female pillar. Of course, the male pillar has the sun. It says pater, means father. The female pillar has the moon. It says mater, that's mother. But you can see the triangles. Even on the bottom at the foot of the pillars is the upward facing triangle with the horizontal line through it, which symbolizes the element of air. Then the downward, which is masculine. And then the downward facing triangle with the horizontal line, which symbolizes the element of earth, which is feminine. So, and they're twin pillars. And where was the pilot for 4819 from? She was actually from, the flight took off from the Twin Cities, from Minneapolis. So there's that twin symbolism. Michael Jordan, maybe some people know or not, has twins. I just got a headline which illustrate this. Michael Jordan and Yvette Prieto take their twin daughters. He has twin daughters.
How do I not know this? What?
He has a twin symbolism. He has twins. So, and these are the twins, yin yang. That's what the Bible.
And Rambo, to go with what you're talking about, don't forget, like he played for Phil Jackson, so they ran the triangle offense. Like you're talking about the triangles, the Bulls ran the triangle offense, and he beat the Jazz back-to-back years. So the Jazz played at the Delta Center. They played at the Delta Center.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Well, and I was just going to say Chicago's home of the 60606 and the 60660 area code, tying back in the Baphomet thing. But yeah.
Wow. Great observations. The Delta Center. Yeah. So this is how Michael Jordan is further coded with this. That was a really big incident. So sometimes these incidents happen. And of course, you know how things are now. Even you think the attempted assassination of a U.S. president or former U.S. president running for president, that should be in the news for a whole year, or at least. Yeah, but these incidents happen with Trump, and you'd forget it. There's another big story. Then there's another big story. Like no story is big enough. Like you could World War III could start. Something would happen to upstage that. I mean, honestly, that's the way it is now. But all of these incidents are profound, and if you focus on them, they have deeper relevance and they'll connect to other things. But I can understand why people move on to it, because people want to hear about the latest incident. But things like this, 2025, Delta flipping upside down. Nobody was hurt, by the way. No injuries, no deaths. Maybe they say some minor injuries, but there were no deaths at all. It is profoundly significant. And Michael Jordan, and I'm showing how you see the broader. So this is coded into everything. This is one of the keys to the Matrix here. The Artemis 2, and there's the whole theme of flight. There's space flight, as well as these Air Jordan. But he is coded into so many things, Michael Jordan. But he's the GOAT. There are many GOATs. Even like the most popular sport in the world is football, soccer. So you'd think, well, the GOAT must be the soccer GOAT, Lionel Messi. No, Michael Jordan is bigger than Lionel Messi, even in a world dominated by soccer, football, by far. It's the most popular sport by far. Michael Jordan is still the GOAT. He's the preeminent GOAT over all. And that's just speaking objectively. I'm not a Jordan fan or Bulls fan. It's objectively, there are several GOATs. The GOAT is Michael Jordan. If you just say athletic GOAT, who comes to mind? It's Michael Jordan. It's not Lionel Messi. He'll come to mind later, the others will. It's Michael Jordan. He's the GOAT, and that's the Baphomet. And you can see the Baphomet, yin yang, male female, the twin pillars, the male pillar, female pillar, and of course he has twins. The Delta flight on runway 23 flips upside down on his birthday. And this is what the Baphomet, the GOAT, which is what Michael Jordan is doing. This hand is signaling as above, which is the Hermetic principle of correspondence. Technically, there's seven Hermetic principles. One of the Hermetic principles is the Hermetic principle of gender, male, female. Another well-known Hermetic principle is the Hermetic principle of correspondence, which is as above, which is how the Delta flight started. And Baphomet is indicating, pointing up, so below. And it's pointing down. And that's why I flipped on Michael Jordan's birthday, on the birthday of the GOAT. And again, it ties into the, like I showed, the twin pillars. So, of course, he has to have twins. The flight took off from the twin cities. So, so another thing. Okay, and so this is done very lightheartedly. And I guess most people would look at this and say, come on, you're making, you know how people react to quote unquote conspiracy theorists. They do this lightheartedly. But when we see this, and the Baphomet yin yang male pillars, he has the twins. Yes, this is lighthearted. Well, Michael Jordan appeared on Sports Illustrated Kids, you know, dressed as grandma, as a female. And you can say, oh, lighten up. But we can see what they're doing here. This is part of the yin yang that he's coated with. So yeah, it has a lighthearted, a surface level, but this is something we in the truth so-called community, for lack of a better term, more than anywhere else, we see this male female. And most often they portray it as humorous and lighthearted, and it's not, you know, anything nefarious or evil on the surface, but it's something they keep doing. So it's, he did that too. You wouldn't think of Michael Jordan in a dress, or it doesn't really emasculate him, you'd say. It looks very humorous, but nonetheless, he had to go through it as well. And Dave Chappelle is the one A-list celebrity who mentioned it on an A-list platform on Oprah. But what Dave Chappelle famously said on Oprah, which was incorrect, he says that they only do this to black males. That's what he said. They do it to everybody. The mayor of New York City, conservative Trump lawyer, Rudolph Giuliani. I mean, what they did to him is beyond what they do to some of these black athletes. I mean, compare this. Okay, they put a black male in a dress. Rudolph Giuliani, you can look this up if you want. He was dressed in drag with fake breasts, and Donald Trump had some little skit with Donald Trump where Donald Trump acted like he was super attracted to him, dressed in drag. This is Rudolph Giuliani, the prosecutor, former mayor of New York City, who was the mayor during 9/11, who's a kind of a no-nonsense, you know, right-wing. He went after the mob. He prosecuted the mob. So he's this fearless figure, and they put him in a dress in a skit with Donald Trump. He had fake breasts, and Donald Trump motorboated him. I mean, that's as emasculating as you can get. So Dave Chappelle, if you want to look up footage of that,
this is coming back to me a little bit. I do remember this now. Oh my God.
No, but that's very emasculating. So when Dave Chappelle, this is one example. It's Robert De Niro has been put in.
Is this real? The hell? No, Joe Loda. Oh my God, dude. But I remember this. I remember this for sure.
Yeah, but so you should see the part where Donald Trump actually, he has fake breasts. It's a motorboat. Motorboat is a slang term. Well, he basically buried his face in Rudy Giuliani's fake breasts. I mean, you can't get more emasculating. So my point to that was that Dave Chappelle was wrong when he said that they only Oh yeah, let's look at this. Yeah.
I was gonna say this is only like 45 seconds. We might as well
Yeah.
have some fun with this. It's so ridiculous. Oh shoot, I don't know if I hit the tell me if you can hear this.
I think the images probably are
Enough, yeah.
the most, yeah, but yeah, it'll be better with sound. Okay, good. Yeah, I can hear it. Yeah.
Okay, all right, here we go, you guys. 45 seconds.
We must commit ourselves to unconditional victory against them.
There's lots of buzz over Rudy Giuliani's impassioned speech at the Republican National Convention.
There's no black America. There's no white
Hold on,
America.
what?
Giuliani, now look what we've uncovered. Now look what we've uncovered. It's Giuliani showing his softer side dressed in drag in a comedy skit with Donald Trump.
You know, you're really beautiful.
The spoof was filmed 16 years ago when Giuliani was mayor of New York for a charity dinner, so it was all in good fun.
Oh, you dirty boy, you. Oh.
Oh my god, dude.
Giuliani
Oh
showing
my god. Wow. Okay. All right. Jeez.
You were forewarned. You were forewarned.
Yeah,
you were getting it. But-
you warned me. You warned me.
Right. So my point is,
Oh my god, dude.
so this dispels what Dave Chappelle said, which is that they only do it to black males, that they emasculate black males. That's just simply not true. Dave Chappelle knows that's not true. That they do it to everybody. They don't just. So I'm not sure what. I mean, yeah. So he got some kudos as being a truth teller, and he's seen as a more authentic person than everybody else. But why give that piece of misinformation? All you have to do is observe for yourself. That's actually, I can't think of all the celebrities that have been put in this position. I think that's the most emasculating that I've seen. Jordan, this is mild what they did with Jordan. So Dave Chappelle, I'm just curious what he's trying to do. He's part of the system as well. He may seem a little bit more authentic. He's part of the system too. Of course he is. So they do this to everybody. So again, that prevents. So he throws his little divide and conquer thing in there. Say what you will about this. It doesn't compare to what Oscar De La Hoya, they did something with him too. I can go on and on, but in general, so that's the point is they do this with everybody, and it's part of the, I guess you could call it the coding to the matrix. And so this is another part of this is the 4 elements, so the 2 male elements, this upside down triangle is fire, and the upside down triangle with a horizontal line through it is air. Those are both masculine. The downward facing triangle is earth. No, it's not earth. It's water, which is feminine. And the downward facing triangle with a horizontal line through it is earth. So those are the 4 elements. Air, earth, fire, and water are the 4. Now, Michael Jordan and the Baphomet contains those.
Quick shout out to Cody. What's up, Cody? Good to see you, brother.
Can you guys hear me?
Can hear you, man. Wakey, eggs and bakey.
Yeah. Thanks. I'll talk. I'll let Rambo keep going. But yeah, another day, Cody hits his alarm and doesn't get up. So.
You're good, man. Good to see you.
Yeah. So the 4 elements are presented in the Baphomet. Air is the wings. Think of Air Jordan and the winged. They have a winged basketball. Air Jordan, same symbol.
The logo has the wings on it, like the original one.
Yeah, it has the basketball with wings on it.
Yep.
Because and he's the GOAT. I mean, is that any more direct? But so the wings are air, the element of air. Earth is the goat and the bull are earth symbols. Anything with hooves and horns is very earthy. Like Capricorn is an earth element sign, and the symbol for Capricorn is a goat. Taurus is a earth element sign in the zodiac, and Taurus is the bull. So anything with hooves and horns is representative of earth. He's a Chicago bull. That's an earth symbol. And he's the goat, which is an earth symbol. That's Baphomet. So the Baphomet, this is earth. The goat is earth. The wings are air, flight. This is fire. The torch is fire. And water, you can see these are scales. So the Baphomet actually has, if you look closely, scales on the torso and scales on this hemisphere here. Those are scales of a fish, which indicates water. So that's water, fire, air, earth. Those are the 4 elements. And Michael Jordan has all 4 of those. And so the we talked about the air, obviously Air Jordan, that's the most obvious. The goat and the bull is earth. Water is Jordan, the Jordan River. That's water. And fire is his first name, Michael. Archangel Michael is the primary archangel associated with the element of fire, representing energy, passion, protection, and transformation. And so Michael is fire. So that's how Michael Jordan has the 4 elements, as does the Baphomet, the goat, which is what Michael Jordan is, the goat. So yeah, these are the, you can call them mystery elements. I'll call them the truth codes. These are codes to the matrix. So whatever you're into, whatever area of life, politics, sports, popular culture, history, mythology, religion, these elements are all there. And
just like with what we talked about with Miami when Bam Adebayo, surpassed an all-time scoring or in one game, passing Kobe, excuse me. Cody, we were talking about this, the flaming basketball and the symbolism with all that. And then Myron, shout out to you. Don't forget about all the Lakers connections between Miami and Los Angeles, So like it's all interconnected, of course.
Yeah, so yeah, I'll leave it there for the connection of Michael Jordan, as well as the importance, and you can see how it's all connected with the Artemis 2. It's coded there, and it's coded much more, which I will show more of, besides Baphomet. But just again, a reminder of what Baphomet. When you reverse it, Tem Off Ab, Tem is temple, Off is wisdom, which is Greek for wisdom. Ab is Abbas, which means father. Temple of the wise father.
Wise father, wise man. Yeah.
And the wise father is Solomon. The temple of the wise father is Solomon's temple, which had the yin yang poles. And the commander of Artemis 2 was named Reed Wiseman for this reason.
I'd be curious your thoughts on the wordplay of Wiseman and Heisman, who just won the Heisman, right? What's his name? Fernando something from Indiana. I'm already forgetting, but
Mendoza.
Yeah. Fernando Mendoza. Wiseman, Heisman. I'm sure there's a lot of tie-ins right there alone with him.
Another name for the Baphomet is the goat of Mendez, which isn't exactly.
Oh my God!
Isn't exactly really? Mendoza, but it's not exactly Mendoza, but it is close to Mendoza.
That's very close.
Yeah, it's very close, but the goat of Mendez is another name for the Baphomet.
Oh wow. Okay, well there you go. There's my answer. I was looking for. I've been talking enough. Myron, Cody, anything you guys want to chime in? I know Cody, you jumped in a little late. No worries. Myron, I think you're on mute, brother.
Sorry, just the flight and it being upside down. It kind of makes sense why Jordan did beat the Jazz twice. Once at the United Center and then once at the Delta Center. And those are both like airlines as well. The United Center, United Airlines, and then the Delta Center being Delta Airlines. So that's really sticking out to me now that you mentioned it. And like I said, the triangles, that's what Phil Jackson ran his whole career, is the triangle offense. So the symbolism definitely is always there with Jordan.
Definitely.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Should we pivot over to your oh, sorry, Cody, go ahead.
Oh no, I just wanted to say I mean I'm not fully aware of exactly the full topic, but the fact that we're talking about like the upside down triangle and the flipping things upside down, it just reminds me of what's, again, I've mentioned this before actually multiple times, but I've mentioned how the WWE and wise man Paul Heyman, the symbol of his new group is the upside down triangle in a circle right there. You can see it right there at the left side, top left there. And again, his nickname used to be the Wise Man. And remember, he's born on 9/11. When he started this group division, he teamed up with Seth Rollins, and Seth Rollins used to dress very recently he's been dressing less woman-like, but he used to dress very like feminine-like with his attire. But before that, Paul Heyman was the wise man to Roman Reigns, who wears Jordans, and then had his Jordans stolen by the Vision.
I remember
Bronson Reed had stolen his Jordan sneakers. I was talking about that about months ago when it happened. So everything you're talking about is, and don't forget in 3 days or 4 days actually at WrestleMania, they're going to be in Vegas in City, and it's going to be all eyes are going to be on the Roman Reigns and wrestling in general. So you have that, and what else was I going to say? But actually, I'm going to have a decode coming later this week, probably about WrestleMania and everything going on. And funny enough, the Beast is going to be part of that, and the Beast is connected to the Baphomet, and it's connected to one of my favorite numbers right now, that 136. In the year of the goat next year, we're going to have the eclipse over Egypt, and that's going to be on J.D. Vance's birthday, but it's going to be in the year of the goat. And I've been saying how this is the eclipse of the century. That's what they're calling it. And if you type in the Beast,
makes me think about Little Egypt in Illinois, right down the road from Chicago, going back to
Jordan. And that's where the two eclipses crossed in the Great American Eclipses crossed in Little Egypt. And so this eclipse, and I've been pointing this to the sheer significance of this eclipse next year. And it really is it's a huge eclipse. I don't know if we thought the Great American Eclipses were big, but I think this one's just that much bigger. It goes over the pyramids. It goes over the energy center of the world. When you think about esoteric occultism, you think Egypt, you think Crowley, you think the Egyptians, Horus. I don't see how you can have a more symbolic and ritualistic event than that. And again, this 136 code is all about the Saros 136. And the Saros 136 started on Donald Trump's birthday in the year 1360, which is again a 136. And technically it started on 136 because it was Donald Trump's birthday, but in some of the world, it was still the date 13/6 in 1360 when this eclipse happened. And the Beast 136, but another 136 is Baphomet, if you spell it right. I can't spell right now. Oh my gosh, it's also dark, but
you're good.
So yeah, Baphomet 136. So both the Beast and Baphomet 136. WrestleMania again is going to feature the Beast, and I'll have a decode on that more later in this coming, maybe even later tomorrow. Again, the significance of this number, the Jesuits also equals 136. They were founded just 3 days after an eclipse from Saros 136. And as Derek has pointed out already, is that if you look into how many years it's been since that first eclipse, the Saros 136 eclipse on Trump's birthday in 1360, it's going to be 666 years this year on Trump's birthday. Let me see if I can find my slide to make it a little more clear. But yeah, again, I don't know why I've all of a sudden discovered like a real significant connection with this number, but it really seems to stand out every time I look again. I find more with this this eclipse.
Well, the Baphomet was a big part of Rambo's presentation before you even jumped in. So it just shows how fitting, like how simpatico we all are. Like we're looking at different things, but every week we come together and it's so perfect. So
yeah, and like I said, if I can just find this slide here. Here it is. I did a whole decode on this. And Jason from the Friday the 13th is tied to this because Jason's born on 136, one day before Donald Trump, supposedly. And again, Friday the 13th is the 6th prime. So this goes back to just basic mathematics too. I mean, 13 is the 6th prime. So there's your 136 right in there. And when Trump was shot, it was 13 weeks and 6 days after the Great American Eclipse over Little Egypt. And it was 136 days after the first Jesuit Pope was elected on the 13th in 13. Again, 613 is the 6th prime. Exactly 136 weeks.
And with the rule of Colel, Cody, I would almost argue the rule of Colel could also apply here because Trump's birthday is one day after that 136 day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I mean, rule of Colel's more like, I don't know. I'm trying to be cute with it, but
that is something that, they do for sure. Because again, according to the rule of Colel, the one can come and go as it pleases. And that also is seen in date measurements too. It happens all the time where we add and subtract the day all the time, right? So this is, or do a span of the day or not a span, but yeah, it's pretty interesting that Trump and Jason are born, one day apart, and then they have that rule of Colel thing is definitely a part of it. And then and so the 136 code, like, and again, that's why I believe the Jesuits, and again, Jesuit Pope, this is kind of a newer one, but Jesuit Pope even equals 136. So he was shot 136 weeks exactly after, or is it months or weeks? I think it's months. Yeah, it's wrong here. It's actually months. I had a typo in that. But so yeah, 136 months. And then also, like I said, the Jesuits founded just 3 days before an eclipse from this. And this also goes into the Jesuits and the Virgin Mary because Virgin Mary equals 136, and so does Mother Mary, 136. And they all commonly have the 134 that goes with them. I notice a lot of times the 134 goes with the 136. Which brings me to the fact that in 2 days, the movie coming out is called Mother Mary. And it looks very, I don't know, satanic, Baphomet-y, It stars Anne Hathaway, which ties back into my Mary and Anne code that I've talked about for months. So, yeah, Mary Ann, the mother of Jesus is Mary, the mother of Mary is Anne. So Anne Hathaway playing Mother Mary.
Rambo was even talking about the name Anna, and I even briefly said there's been a lot of Annas I've been seeing lately too. So it's funny that you're bringing that up too.
Oh, really? Okay. Well, yeah, because the Ann code, I've been on that since Nancy Guthrie disappeared. Because Nancy is a form of Anne.
Well, and Savannah, right?
Yeah, that too. And her other daughter, Nancy Guthrie's other daughter, I believe, is named Anne. I think they all have the Anne there, and so that's when I started picking up on the code of the Anns and the Annas,
Yeah.
Hey,
Cody,
I saw this movie.
I was going to say, I want to take a quick pause. I just want to be cognizant of Myron's time. Myron told me he's only got about an hour and a half. We're coming up on an
Yeah,
hour
go ahead.
right now, and Myron does have, you know, a handful of slides to share. I just want to check in with you, Myron, for the sake of time. Like we can jump in, and there's some wrestling stuff in there for you, Cody. You're gonna like it.
Yeah, I don't want to throw the rhythm off. Definitely keep going, but
yeah, Cody's cooking. I don't want to like cut him off
yeah,
either.
yeah,
I wanted to
yeah. Go
take a
ahead.
second to make sure
We
that
good.
we're okay.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, like I said, I didn't have so many more points to make. Just the fact of the significance of this eclipse coming up, which ties into what Rambo, I guess, was talking. Again, I missed a lot of it, but the Baphomet, the goat, and just the fact that next year is the goat year, and it's going to be that eclipse over Egypt, which is the 136 eclipse. That's what I'm calling it. It's the 136 eclipse. But this year is going to be 666 years since the first one in that cycle. And I had pointed out that, and just real quick, shout out to Derek. Derek had pointed out this. If you go 666 years from that eclipse, it's Trump's birthday this year in the year 2026. If you type in the beast, it's 80. Like Donald Trump's going to turn 80 that day. He's going to be doing that in the year 26. The beast equals 80 and 26 and 46. Trump was born in 46. And again, this is all connected to the 136. That's the Saurus 136. So every number in the beast is represented here, which is why it seems that this year is going to be another huge year in general as well. And then what I just did the other day was I looked into actually it's the other slides. Let's see here. But I'll let Myron get in, and then I'll come back to this in a little bit. But why I find what I'm looking for. But yeah, we'll let Myron get in.
Yeah, no worries. I mean, while I transition, Rambo, Myron, anything you guys wanted to add to what Cody had to share?
I was just thinking about your code that you had, AJ, on the Church of Satan and the New Jersey Devils. Because you guys are talking about Anne Hathaway is in The Devil Wears Prada also, with the Anne connections. And I was looking at Meryl Streep because she's in The Devil Wears Prada too, and she's from New Jersey. But I know that connected to your the decode that you had earlier for that hockey game, and the Wings, the Red Wings, and the Devils.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I leaned Red Wings on that game. The Devils ended up actually winning, but the truth is, just that matchup alone was like, there's a reason these two teams are playing on this day. You know what I mean? It was like, it was going to be perfect either way.
Yeah. I'm glad you covered that yourself, because I was actually looking at that, you know, before I knew you were even looking at that. You know, I was, because like I said, growing up, I was a Red Wings fan. And of course, I follow them tighter than I do any other hockey team. And I figured that they would lose because it was part of their collapse theme. And since my other team already collapsed this year, like the Colts, they collapsed at the end of the season. The Red Wings did the same thing. So I figured, the universe is going to do it a second time for me. But also because the 10 years without making the playoffs in their 100th season. And again, all the things I've been talking about recently with the Say 10. Mm-hmm. And don't forget, the woman on the ship was from Michigan, and that was all connected to the Church of Satan. So
yeah, she was missing. And then just fun fact, there was some woman that was missing as a little girl back in 1994 in Arizona, who all of a sudden became the new Elizabeth Smart. I don't know if you guys ever heard of that story, but she just came out and said, oh yeah, no, I actually ran away, and I have a whole other life now. And yeah, that's the story. It's just like, what, like all these disappearance stories and stuff, Arizona, Michigan, like, you know, it's all right there. Shout out to you, Rambo, with kind of the whole abduction, disappearance, vanishing type of themes too.
Yeah, that's tied into the UFOs,
right,
and aviation.
Yep.
Yeah.
But then that's why Michigan makes a lot of sense too with that latest story. You know, Michigan, go blue, blue origin. See what I'm saying? Boom, rolls right up the pike. Yeah, let's pass things off to Myron. I just want to make sure Myron has the time that he needs to present his work for today. And as always, I would say a common theme is Myron always has a way to tie basketball into wrestling. So it's so cool because I'm the basketball guy. Cody loves the wrestling, and Myron's the best of both worlds there. So, Myron, you have the floor, man. Please, just maybe a quick reminder of where people can find you, and we'll dive in.
Yes, sir. Instagram, he got game. The E's are 3s, 2 T's and got, and then an underscore at the end. That's where all of my work is. And again, thank you always for supporting me and promoting my work.
So what are we talking about tonight, Myron?
Yeah, so just picking up on the connections. 2 weeks ago, CM Punk, his real name is Phil Brooks, but he made an extremely odd comment in his promo, which is called a pipe bomb in wrestling, but that he could stand on the bridge and blow it up because he knows how to swim. And immediately what came to mind, of course, is the Golden Gate Bridge, because that is one of the bridges that sits over water. And I've recently just discovered not only does he have so much symbolism with his wrestling merchandise with the Golden State Warriors, and then his symbolism with the going to sleep, as Steph Curry does when he wins games, but he also does have other connections to the city of San Francisco as well. Here you can see his merchandise. This is his shirt, one of his new shirts that he's been wearing and promoting. And if you look at the San Francisco flag, their flag is the Phoenix. So you can kind of see the Phoenix on fire. Yeah, he does. He if you want to address that comment about Punk.
Yeah, no, I just popped it up. I mean, I don't know if I have anything else to add of it, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and he did when he returned, before he returned to WWE, he started in AEW and he had a feud with MJF, and he calls himself the devil and Lucifer as well. So that's a good comment as well to tie into it. But just his connections to San Francisco, you can see like the Phoenix is not, it's a mythical creature. The shirt on CM Punk is listed as an eagle, but just the symbolism behind it, the wings, and San Francisco actually having the Phoenix on it. And then that'll go into the next slide as it ties into San Francisco. So the San Francisco flag uses the Phoenix. The Golden Gate Bridge was manufactured by the company, the Bethlehem Steel Company out of Pittsburgh. Early on in CM Punk's career, it was scripted that he was in a relationship with a wrestler called Beth Phoenix. So I tied that connection in because she's a Glamazon warrior. Yeah, that's Beth Phoenix. So her name is Beth Phoenix. And again, the Golden Gate Bridge was manufactured by Bethlehem Steel, and the San Francisco flag is the Phoenix. And then his connection again, his symbolism that just ties into the Warriors and Steph Curry so much. Steph Curry does wear the number 30, and CM Punk does equal 30 in reverse. And then shout out to Gematria Altum. She did leave a comment on my post saying CM Punk's birthday is on 10/26, and Steph Curry equals 10/26 in Jewish cipher also.
Could also be broken down to 126 like Kobe, and we know all about those connections. But
yes, sir. Yeah, here just the connections to the Pope. As we know, the new Pope, Pope Leo, is from Chicago. The last Pope was named after the city of San Francisco, Pope Francis, because of Saint Francis of Assisi. But the dark side of wrestling, which has to do with a lot of deaths. One of the biggest deaths in wrestling history was Chris Benoit. So Chris Benoit, his match, he was supposed to have a match with CM Punk, and it was scripted that he never showed up because that was the day he committed suicide and killed himself. And so CM Punk never had his final match with Chris Benoit. So that means Chris Benoit's final match was with this wrestler at the bottom right. His name is Elijah Burke. And Elijah Burke's wrestling montage, he calls himself the Pope or the Black Pope. So Chris Benoit, he never had his championship match with CM Punk because that was the night he killed his family and himself. So his last official match was against a wrestler that has the mantra of being the Pope or calling himself the Pope.
Golden Age is like, that day was insane, bro. I wouldn't know. You know, I'm not a wrestling head, but man.
Yeah, it was a very, very, very big story in the wrestling community, and just how it happened. Like, it wasn't tragic. Usually when there's wrestling deaths, it's tragic, but they really couldn't even honor him. They kind of had to like erase his identity because it was reported that he killed his whole family and then committed suicide. So he was one of the best wrestlers like ever, but they don't talk about him because of the just the severe nature of his history of how he went out.
Mr. S kind of brings up a good point, because this is at least something that I do remember was the whole BS about McMahon like dying, a car blowing up, and then it takes me back to all of Rambo's work about the the truck on fire at Trump Hotel day one of last year. What was it?
It's a Cybertruck on January 1st, which exploded outside of Trump Hotel in Las Vegas. On the very same day, January 1st, 2025, a Ford F-150 plowed through some New Year's revelers on Bourbon Street in Louisiana. And it was a Cybertruck. It was a Tesla Cybertruck that blew up, but the Cybertruck, it parked outside Trump Hotel in Las Vegas behind what looked like it was a white pickup, so it could have been an F-150. And on the same day, a white F-150 plowed through some New Year's revelers on Bourbon. So there's a big theme with cars, because that same year, later in England, in the most popular sports league in the world, the English Premier League of football, Liverpool, who had won the Premier League, had a celebration, a parade in the city of Liverpool, and a car ran over some fans there as well. So that is and the Christmas before, this was 2024, in Germany, there was a Christmas market where somebody in a car ran over. That was the thing from late 2024 going into 2025. It was a thing with cars. And then the Tesla, you had besides the Tesla blowing up outside of Trump Hotel, you had Gilbert Arenas' son, Elijah Arenas. He had a Tesla Cybertruck. Crashed that in LA, and that blew up. And I talk about chariots of fire. It's a chariots of fire. And who went up in the chariots of fire, in the chariot of fire in the Bible? Elijah did.
And I'm glad you even keeping and mention fire as well. Yeah.
So that's the context in which I mentioned that.
I just thought Mr. S's comment was kind of tied in everything that Rambo you've touched on, Myron, what you're talking about right now, even with what Cody was talking about with the Beast, and how it all kind of rolls back to Trump, and all that,
and even the blowing up and the flames connecting to the Phoenix as well. If we can you go back to that slide with the Bethlehem Steel slide? One other thing I did want to add with this in relation to CM Punk and the steel. So CM Punk, before he was on the indie circuit, before he became mainstream, and he was in a group. The name of their group was called the Golden Bond Mafia. So again, the Golden Gate Bridge, the Golden State Warriors for Steph Curry. He was in a faction called the Golden Bond Mafia. And where did he wrestle or train? He trained in a Chicago facility under Ace Steel. So he's even went to a wrestling academy called Ace Steel with the name Steel in it. So his connections, this is just the warm up to how much he is truly connected with the city of San Francisco.
And shout out to Mr. S. I'm going to call you out, Mr. S. McMahon does not have the same birthday as Kobe. It's one day later, which is Kobe Bryant Day.
Oh, Kobe Day, 8/24. Yeah.
Yeah. Vince McMahon's birthday is on Kobe Bryant Day, not Kobe Bryant's birthday. It's the day later. But anyways, I'm splitting hairs. It takes me back to Air Canada and Vince Carter. See what I'm saying? And Kobe Carter, Jordan, all those years. So anyways, no, shout out to you, Mr. S. I was just giving you a hard time.
And just to add another coincidence here, Mr. McMahon's limo was blown up on Rambo's birthday.
Dude.
Interesting. Interesting.
That's another part of the June 11th stuff that you can talk about. Like that's another big part of all that that stuff.
Yeah, I know there's a lot about June 11th, and shout out Garo, and that there's a lot about that. But yeah, so sorry, Myron.
No worries.
I didn't mean to.
And then one other connection. So Steph Curry, I know it's hard to look up because Steph Curry, of course, his wife, Aisha Curry, she is from Canada also, connected to like Chris Benoit being a historically famous character from Canada. But the replacement, the wrestler who replaced Chris Benoit to fight CM Punk that night, he was from California, John Morrison. And John Morrison, his real wife's name, her last name is Valkyrie. And I know that's the new WNBA team in San Francisco as well. It's the Golden State Valkyries. That's the new women's team. So just to throw that in for another connection.
And Valkyrie's a rocket, right? So that's very fitting, in my opinion, just with all the rocket go to the moon stuff. But anyways. Yeah, were we done with this slide?
Yes. Yep. We can go.
Okay.
Yep. We can finish. We can go past that one as well. And then this one, just a connection to Michael Jackson, because we all know that Steph Curry, he was drafted to the NBA. He became a member of the NBA on the day that Michael Jackson died. And then pretty much the fight.
I didn't know that.
Ended,
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Really?
Oh yeah. He was born and Steph Curry. So the connection with that is like Steph Curry was drafted the day that Michael Jackson died. But the person who helped produce Michael Jackson's most famous album is Quincy Jones. They produced Thriller, but Quincy Jones has Steph Curry's birthday. And if you look at CM Punk's last official UFC fight, the fight that pretty much put CM Punk out and had him thinking about returning back to wrestling, the fighter's name is Mike Jackson.
No comment on my end.
Yeah. I just wanted to throw that tidbit in. We can go to the next slide.
That's amazing, Myron. Seriously. That's amazing.
I
did not know that.
Can you please I didn't send one photo. Can you go do a Google search for Kill Switch and Machine Head tour?
Yeah.
I think that's Kill Switch Engage, right?
Yeah, Kill Switch Engage and Machine Head. Can you Google search them and look at the logo for them? Because Kill Switch was CM Punk's I forgot to send you this photo, but Kill Switch, CM Punk came out when he first started wrestling in WWE. He came out to Kill Switch This Fire Burns.
Yeah. Okay. Kill Switch Engage.
Yeah, and Machine Head, they're going on a tour. So can you just put them and then their tour? And then go to the images. Yeah, click on that image. So this tour, this is their summer tour coming up. And I just the Kill Switch theme, because CM Punk, he used to come out when he started his wrestling career in WWE. He came out to Kill Switch. It was a song called This Fire Burns. But this summer, Kill Switch is going on tour, and the very last stop on their tour is San Francisco. That's the very last day of their tour. It's on June 27th. and it's in San Francisco. And I thought this was a big connection because 2 days after that is when CERN is shutting down the Large Hadron Collider. They're shutting it down on June 29th, and June 29th is the founding day of San Francisco.
You know what else it is? It's Kawhi's birthday. I just thought it was funny because Kawhi won the championship, defeating Golden State
from Toronto.
Yeah, when he was with Toronto. Yeah.
Wow.
I thought you would know that, Clipper fan.
Man, I know. I need to tighten up.
Yeah. No, it's funny too because Kawhi's so heavily tied to San Antonio, and shout out Golden Age. Anyways, yeah. Sorry.
What day did you say the last date is on this tour?
June 27th in San Francisco. Yep.
You want to know why that's important, right?
Then tell me why.
That's the day that CM Punk gave his big pipe bomb.
You are absolutely correct. That is the day that he started. Yep.
June 27th,
June
2011.
27th. And you know what's even crazier is he a couple of weeks later he stopped using Kill Switch as his theme song.
Oh,
that's
really?
when he changed. That's when he left from Kill Switch. He stopped using them after that.
That's right. Wow, man. So that would be 15 years ago this year. Yeah, 15 years. Interesting. That's crazy, actually.
Yeah, and I just wanted to just a piece of symbolism. If you kind of can zoom into the image, it looks like a skeleton is in front of a collider, like the Hadron Collider. That's what it looks like. So if you want to, I'm so mad I forgot this photo because I put this photo next to the Hadron Collider so you can see that it looks like this skeleton is pretty much being destroyed by a collider and the kill switch, and they're going to hit the switch on the collider on the 29th, the day on San Francisco's birthday.
Wow. Man.
Holy smokes, dude.
I mean, I definitely see it. I definitely see what you're talking about.
Yeah, even if you want to Google like the Large Hadron Collider so they can see like the connection, the audience can see the connection to that skeleton piece. And then for CERN, the Large Hadron Collider, which they're planning on turning off. And then Gematria Awareness, he said they're going to turn it off on San Francisco's 250th birthday. And I know bridge collapse equals 250.
Yeah.
I see a lot of symbology there for sure. Oh my God, man. Well, especially with all the Michael Jackson stuff, with what you just tied in with Steph Curry and everything else. I mean, Moonwalker, Michael Jackson, the Moonwalker,
Yeah.
Going back
even
to
that Thriller album, him turning into a wolf when the moon comes out in the music video.
What is this Jafar Jackson? What is that? Is that the actor playing Michael Jackson?
I think so.
Jafar?
I think it is. I think he is related to Michael Jackson.
Well, there's a flight theme right there with Aladdin. A magic carpet ride, a whole new world. Anyways, moving on. All right, yeah, let me get back to the slide. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, thank you for looking that up so the audience can see that piece. Sorry for not sending you that photo.
Oh, no, you're good. You're good. Yeah, hold on a second. Let me get back to it. Jafar Jackson is playing Michael Jackson. Okay. There we go. All right. Back to it. I know we're getting towards the end here and really appreciate it.
Yeah, we're wrapping up.
Mr. S says Rambo's got something to say. I can see it in his eyes. All right, so next one here.
This just the war themes again, because we know well, maybe everybody doesn't know, but Steph Curry's real name is Wardell. So war, the Pope has been big on his comments lately about war. Wardell playing for the Warriors, and then CM Punk returning to a place where he never said he would return back, which is of course scripted, but just blurring the lines of what's real and what's not. CM Punk said he would never return back to the WWE, and then he made his surprise return at a pay-per-view event called War Games. So that's when he returned to wrestling. And again, just his symbolism, him returning at War Games, Steph Curry being named Wardell, playing for the Warriors, and then just this whole war piece connected to the city of San Francisco. And then even this week in the news with Trump in the Presidio, I believe that's how you pronounce it, the Presidio of San Francisco, Trump just fired everybody in that area. In the Presidio, they got their founding date the same time the St. Francis Mission occurred in San Francisco. So that area in San Francisco, close to the bridge, they also will be celebrating their birthday this year on June 29th. But this week in the news, Trump fired everybody and eliminated the trust. And I know that's a very wealthy area in San Francisco as well. And then just more symbolism with Steph Curry and CM Punk. Even when CM Punk was in AEW, he again dressed in gold. As you know, Steph Curry plays for Golden State. And then Steph Curry has been mentioned as a vampire. He's even dressed up as a vampire on Halloween before with his family. And then CM Punk playing, he was like this masked wrestler. But they called him a vampire. He was like a vampire wearing a mask. The Golden Vampire, I believe, is what they called him. And just the gold themes. And now going into WrestleMania, he's wearing the gold. And even he's fighting Roman Reigns, who is a part of the bloodline. But like I said last week, only Roman Reigns and The Rock are the only people in the bloodline that are not from California or the Bay Area. They're both from Florida. The rest of the family is either from San Francisco, from Oakland, from Sacramento. Their entire bloodline is from California, other than Roman Reigns and The Rock.
NorCal specifically.
Yep, Northern California in the Bay Area. But yeah, that's the last slide. That's all I had. So yeah, thanks for giving me the floor, guys.
Myron, amazing stuff. IAOM said CM Punk fought in UFC. I think you might have touched on that for a second.
Yeah. His CM Punk's last fight was against Mike Jackson. And again, Steph Curry was drafted to the NBA the day Michael Jackson died.
Just wow, dude. Wow. I gotta look more into Jafar Jackson. But yeah, go ahead, Cody.
Yeah, I just wanted to say, I mean, great connection. I mean, this is opening up a whole nother level of connections between CM Punk and the San Francisco thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then, yeah, just with this Kill Switch Engage stuff also, and don't forget, as we did touch on last week, the bridge, the finishing of the Golden Gate Bridge is going to be on that match of Roman Reigns versus CM Punk. Is going to be on the anniversary of the Golden Gate Bridge construction.
Yes, sir.
So there's so much tied into CM Punk and this this theme of the Golden Gate Bridge, and yeah, we'll see what they have in store for us for here at WrestleMania. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to watch WrestleMania because here in Albania, for some reason they have had a lot of trouble getting this Netflix to. So I won't be able to watch it, which is I mean, I'm not too upset about it, to be honest, but I watch it. I normally watch it for the symbolism, but
right.
If there's one WrestleMania I don't want to watch, it's probably this one. I mean, there's some things I do want to see if I could, but
yeah,
I'll just catch up afterwards, hopefully, and be able to make. But it's sometimes you catch things in the matches that you can't watch on highlights that would be really big, maybe not to miss, but hopefully,
right,
miss too much with that. But,
right. And then Rambo, before you go, you did mention something about Mendez also. So CM Punk's wife, her real name is April Mendez. And April, of course, is the incorporation month of San Francisco. Again, tomorrow, 4/15, because that's the San Francisco area code. But his wife's real name is April Mendez. And tomorrow, who do the Golden State Warriors play? They're playing on San Francisco Day in the play-in tournament against the LA Clippers, a ship team. And this is going to be on the anniversary of the Titanic sinking as well. So you have your ship sinking, and then you have your 4/15 San Francisco date for the Warriors and Clippers also.
And there's still a big, satanic connection there. LA Clippers equals 666. San Francisco is home of the Church of Satan. And with Mendez, the whole reason that even came up, we were talking about Fernando Mendez, Wiseman, Heisman, right?
Yeah. And CM
back
Punk was a Paul Heyman guy. Paul Heyman, the Wiseman. When he started his run, he was under Paul Heyman, the Wiseman, who is the Oracle now with Oracle Arena. So it just continues to keep connecting.
Oh my God, look at this one, dude. Shout out Maggie. Ryan Gosling's wife in Project Hail Mary is Ava Mendes. Oh my God.
That's crazy.
Wow.
Yeah. You know, it's also interesting about tomorrow or today. For me, it's already the 15th, but 415, the San Francisco area code. If so, I've been looking into recently the nuclear tests, and a lot of people. Well, actually, I just thought about this. The last nuclear test the U.S. ever did was in Nevada, where WrestleMania is going to be held. And it was called Divider, and it happened on. Let me see if I can find. Yeah, I have it pulled up. Hold on.
I was just gonna say too, the April connection is. Don't forget that Anton LaVey was born in April, and the founding date of the Church of Satan is also in April,
which is San Francisco, right?
Right. Yeah.
Then the Titanic with the love story about Rose. Today is Pete Rose's birthday. And Pete Rose, of course, who did he play for? He played for the Reds. They played the San Francisco Giants today.
Myron, did you know that what's her name? Oh shoot, she played Moira Rose. That was one of the bigger deaths to start the year.
Oh yeah, I remember you talking to me about
Catherine Ann O'Hara.
Catherine Ann. There's her Ann again. But she played Moira Rose. Did you know that was Jalen Rose's birthday? She died on Jalen Rose's birthday, and then Jalen Rose's Michigan Wolverines end up winning the championship.
Insane.
It's just crazy, dude. Sorry, I get excited.
Yeah, sorry if I cut anybody off.
No, but I was just to add to this 415 area code San Francisco.
Yeah,
I just thought it was really interesting alignment. Again, these kind of things are real interesting when you see them, because so today is 415, but if you go from the last United States nuclear test in Nevada, it's just yesterday, like just a day before 415, that test turned 415 lunar phases old exactly. So there is a really interesting alignment here with that. And considering we were just talking about the pipe bomb in San Francisco and CM Punk, I think that's super interesting that it lines up like that. So that today would be, or 415 would be 415 lunar months and 1 day after that. And I'm gonna have a decode, like I said, coming up, but the other big story in WrestleMania in the few days is Obafemi. And I just found out another big thing with him and the nuclear tests, and his connection to Oppenheimer. He's born on Oppenheimer's birthday.
Interesting.
Not only Oppenheimer's birthday, but his 94th birthday, and that is huge.
Interesting.
Some of my first work was on my channel was on this topic. Plutonium is the 94th element, and Obafemi is born on Oppenheimer's 94th birthday. That is huge. That is really big. And yeah, so I'm going to have a decode on that. I don't have it all put together yet, but I'm going to have a decode on that later in the next couple days or so. But it's big. Obafemi is going to be a huge part of the WWE for years going forward, and he's the next big guy, I think, really. So
yeah.
Shout out Golden Age, just a nice addition here. The Church of Satan moved from San Francisco to New York on their 35th anniversary back in 2001, 4 months, 1 week, 5 days from 9/11.
Wow.
Great addition, Chase. Yeah.
And again, the King James Bible is 415 years old.
Of course it is.
Yeah, that's another that's another great addition, because that I think the 415. Also, I've been looking into if you type in key in Latin gematria, it equals 415. And I had this weird alignment the past month. I've been looking into the TV show Smallville, which is about Superman.
Yeah.
And I had just mentioned in our chat earlier that we have on Discord, which Rambo and AJ are also part of, but Derek had mentioned that some guy named Swalwell had been stepped down today from accusations. He's from California, actually, this guy. And so Swalwell sounds a lot like Smallville. And I had been looking at this date today, 4/14, because I just started getting into this show again, Smallville. And I had noticed that the whole show kind of had a riddle with the number 414. And so today, when I was in the Discord talking to Derek, and he had mentioned 414, and because that's the area code of Milwaukee, and that's where he lives. And I had said, I had found all these 414 connections with Smallville recently. And then he's like, wait, he typed in the word Swalwell. And I was like, what the heck's Swalwell? I had no idea who this guy was. And Derek put it in the chat, and come to find out, this guy Swalwell is all connected to Smallville and what I've been talking about randomly. Like I just felt like God was like telling me to just like watch this show and decode Smallville and random thing, but like then this 414 comes up in my research on the show, and then on 414 this guy basically he has to step down because of accusations that he's and the woman that's accusing him today is Lana, and the love interest in Smallville of Superman, Clark Kent, is Lana. At first I didn't believe it was. At first I was like, this can't be connected. It just seemed like so out there that it could be, just because the name Swalwell kind of sounds like Smallville, but. And then the other thing was the guy who plays Superman in that show is Tom Welling. Like the guy's name is Swalwell. And everything's perfect. Derek did a whole post on it now. Derek did a whole post on this connection with this guy and Smallville. But the point was that in that show, the 414 is very prominent with Christopher Reeve's appearance in the show. And Christopher Reeve, he appeared on the 414 episode. Today's the 22nd anniversary. And in that episode, it's all about the key. Clark Kent he's learning about the key to this mechanism from his father. And again, in the gematria, Latin gematria, key equals 415, which again in the rule of Carlyle is like 414. So I've been looking into these numbers, 414, 415, and which is interesting because the Titanic also connects to those two dates as well, right?
It sure does.
But yeah, that's
a lot happened on 414. There's also the Boston Marathon bombing happened on 415. Abraham Lincoln was shot on 414 and died on 415.
Mm-hmm.
And the Boston Marathon bombing happened on 415. And the greatest tragedy in the history of British sports also happened on 415. It's known as the Hillsborough disaster, where it was fans of Liverpool Football Club were crushed to death. The competition was the FA Cup semifinal. But and what's interesting now is that Liverpool Football Club is owned by Fenway Sports Group, who own the Boston Red Sox. So every April 15th, the owners of the Boston Red Sox and the owners of Liverpool, who also own Liverpool Football Club, and LeBron James owns a share of Liverpool Football Club as well.
And Boston Red Sox, I thought.
Yeah, so every April 15th, they have a choice to make as to which memorial to attend. And yeah, so yeah, that's the so 415 is a big it's a big number. Of course, we just had the Boston team, New England Patriots, in the Super Bowl. Boston's involved in a lot. I mean, the planes from 9/11, two of them took off from Boston. They're supposed to go to LA, but went to New York instead. So, but yeah, 415 is a lot has happened in history on 415.
And shout out to Derek. This kind of blew my mind earlier. He posted this in the comments or in our chat. Oak Creek baby born on 414 at 414. And guess what Oak Creek equals? I'll give you one guess. It equals 414 in Sumerian.
Oh my God.
So that's what I mean. Like, this world's an absolute crazy show, man. Like, the baby born at 414 on 414, and the highlighted word in this article is Oak Creek, right? I'll just show you guys. I'll just, because it's like, are you kidding me, Derek? Like, and Derek's as good at finding this stuff. Of course, he lives in that area, and that's his area code. But wow, okay, I had kill switch engaged in there. It equals 1, 2, 3, 4. Huh. It's like engaging, like the countdown.
Yeah.
And Myron, hey, I know you got to bounce whenever you got to, so don't worry about it.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you guys.
You're all good, man. Like whenever you got to drop off, no worries.
Okay.
But yeah, just to throw that in there. Oak Creek 414.
That's wild, man. I immediately think of Dawson's Creek and James
right,
Creek and all that kind of stuff, But interesting. Yeah, I had something I thought I would share with you guys, and this is a very half-baked presentation. It's just something that stumbled upon my palette last night on YouTube, and it pushed me to watch The Little Giants again. Did you guys ever watch that movie, Little Giants?
No, I did not watch it.
Yeah, I mean, so many years ago, I don't remember a lot of the details of the movie, but I've seen it.
Yeah, this is totally off topic from the sense of what we've been talking about tonight, but I think it's very fitting with what all three of us have been talking about for a long time when it connects to Skull and Bones. And I also have one other observation of just something I saw yesterday, and I didn't know if you guys saw it, but I just wanted to share it to you guys in the audience and see if you guys had anything else to take away from this. Just a second. Let's see. Okay. First of all, did you guys see this story? Did you guys see that Drake's seats at the Raptors game was covered in ice before the game? Did you guys see this?
No, that's weird.
I don't have anything else other than to just show you guys this image. I haven't had an opportunity to really like decode anything, but I just thought it was so bizarre that like they made these two chairs for Drake, Mr. Six, to sit in two chairs that look like it's frozen. I don't know. I know I'm kind of going all over the place, but
just makes me think of the Drake Duck thing and the Mighty Ducks on ice,
Oh yeah. No, great point. Didn't think about that. Yeah, like I said, I'm sorry for this being kind of a half-assed presentation here, but look at the commonalities here, you guys. Little Giants, it's about Pee Wee football. It's the underdog story, right? This is an underdog story, Rambo, kind of like the Sandlot, But when we think about Skull and Bones, Paul Walker, the Skulls, Red Porsche, right? Well, it just so happens that the head coach of, what were we talking about too? Heisman. If you look in the center there, He's got the Heisman license plate. He was a former Heisman Trophy winner, blah, blah, blah. Comes back to be a head coach of a Pee Wee football team. But anyways, him in the red Porsche, essentially, or Corvette, something like that. But it's just like the skull and bones symbolism in this movie is nonstop. It's in the background or it's screaming at your face in practically every scene. So Skull and Bones, Paul Walker, a member of Skull and Bones in the movie The Skulls. We know all about that. But look, like Becky, the main girl, best football player, wearing the Skull and Bones on her helmet. And not only that, you got oh Jesus, I was gonna say John Elway. What's his name again? John Madden. John Madden. So he comes out of his bus, and boom, Walker, Texas Ranger, George Herbert Walker Bush, an actual member of Skull and Bones, Paul Walker. See what I'm saying? It's all right there. They even got former players coming in playing against these kids to hype them up, and they got Skull and Bones. It's just everywhere. Look at this. Skull and Bones here, Walker there. You got Skull and Bones back here.
I mean, don't forget John Madden's connection to the Raiders either.
Well, yeah, exactly. And let's not forget, what do we talk about at the beginning of this episode? Fernando Mendoza. He was literally on Pat McAfee's show joking about trying to be a member of Skull and Bones when he was at Yale before he went to Indiana. See what I mean?
Yeah. So and now Pat McAfee is the most hated person in wrestling, man.
Yeah, exactly. I just wanted to share that, like it's just this kind of Skull and Bones thing. As I was rewatching The Little Giants last night, I was like, oh my God, man, look at this. Skull and Bones here, Skull and Bones there. There you go. You got your red car. Skull and Bones here, Walker. Anyways, that's my presentation for tonight. I just thought you guys would get a kick out of that.
Yeah, I'm sure Derek would appreciate this too, because he's done a lot of work on John Madden and the Skull and Bones code. A lot. I mean, I can remember many decodes he's sent me, which focuses on that very connection. So.
And Cody, you said you've seen this movie, right? Like at least a long time ago.
Yeah, a long time ago. But
remember the big part with this scene was the annexation of Puerto Rico. So I think that's kind of fitting too with everything that's been going on. Like that was the play. That's how the Little Giants beat the Cowboys. Sorry to spoil the end of the movie for you guys. But the annexation of Puerto Rico was the name of the whole play that this little kid, and John Madden work on.
Huh.
It just seems very fitting with everything that we've been on for a long time with the red car, Skull and Bones, Walker, George Herbert Walker Bush. I don't know. I feel like in a way there's a reason why YouTube sent me the algorithm last night to watch Little Giants again. So
yeah, I mean, it's just like the same thing with me in Smallville. It was like, why do I feel so weird? All of a sudden, out of nowhere, this weird urge to watch this show and to decode the show. Well, it kind of came from when Brad Arnold died in the Kryptonite Singer. It kind of started with that, but then I started thinking, oh, there's something to this.
Yeah.
But yeah, Superman actually turns on 4/18. Superman turns 88 years old. The first appearance of Superman. The 88 years on 4/18, which again is WrestleMania, and Roman Reigns' move is called the Superman Punch. So even Roman Reigns is connected to Superman. But
I just noticed too, like sexually, like this is a big male-female thing, right? Because Becky, the Icebox, by the way, we were just talking about ice in this whole story, ice baby, right? But like. So her name's Becky Icebox. She's the best player on the team. She's even better than Spike. But think about that masculine, feminine thing. His name is Spike, a phallus. See what I'm saying? And he goes, when you mess with Spike, you mess with death. And he's saying it to her. She's wearing a Skull and Bones helmet. You know what I mean? And she plays for the Giants. the twin towers, two towers come down, become one. You see what I'm saying? Like it's all there. This movie is way before 9/11.
Yeah.
You know, so and then the last part I had here was Becky then decides, she's like, you know what, like I'm never going to be one of the guys even though I'm better, and then she wants to be a cheerleader, and then she's sitting here wearing red and blue, kind of like the Taurus field, like the male female construct, sitting watching a couple, sitting in the lake with the red and blue themes there too. And she plays for the Giants, red and blue, blah blah blah. But I know I'm all over the place. Here's another red and blue. You know what I mean?
Well, it does remind me that Rambo's talked a lot about the feminine being removed from the skull and bones. So think about how the woman is wearing the skull and bones.
Exactly. Yep.
Yeah. The feminine is the heart. It's a trinity. It's an incomplete trinity. It's supposed to be skull, bones, heart. So yeah, that's a good.
And that's why she's wearing. That's why she's wearing that.
Yeah. So she actually completes the trinity because she's a female.
Mm-hmm.
So she's the heart. So yeah, female wearing that is a complete. Like in the Matrix, you had the trinity of Neo, Morpheus, and Trinity. So the Trinity, and the female was named Trinity. The female completed the Trinity. So yeah, that's a great observation by KODI. Yeah, so she, female wearing that, she completes the Trinity herself because she's a female. Yeah.
Yeah, and like besides, her father, having his own beef with his brother and underdog kind of stuff. In other words, in her world, like the biggest like villain, so to speak, is Spike. So it's like, of course, his name's Spike, and he's the big masculine, macho, bigger than everybody else, bully kind of guy,
And this reminds me too of once again back to the wrestling theme, but one of the biggest women wrestlers today is Becky Lynch. And
really?
Becky Lynch, she's the wife of Seth Rollins, who I showed earlier was started the Vision, who kind of dressed very womanly. But Becky Lynch is she calls herself the man. So it goes again with this theme, like kind of like how in this scene she's wearing this skull and bones hat, but she's a female, but she's being very manly and being very being very boyish, like Becky Lynch calls herself the man. So I mean,
that's a great observation too. I don't know how to pronounce it, but yeah, you use a spike to break up the ice, like an ice pick. And once again, Becky is known as the ice box. So the spike going up against the ice box, and the ice box is wearing that 2 out of 3, right? The 2/3 of the Trinity, and Becky representing, the female and all that. But it's amazing. I mean, just the fact that I was able to share an image or two, and you guys are great. Thank you. Appreciate that.
Yeah. So the skull and bones also ties into John Madden as well.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's an incomplete trinity. So it's the skull is thought. Those are crossed femur bones. Leg bones that's action.
Mm-hmm.
The heart is emotion. So there's no emotion there. It's thought and action. So this goes into the computer world and the world of AI.
They're literally at a computer right now, but if you can't see that, like this is a old computer. Sorry, I just want to.
That's a good observation. That's probably why they did that. So computers and AI, especially when it's robotic, because now they're trying to make robots as human as possible. They're rapidly trying to do that with facial expressions. But the key is when they'll make the biggest breakthrough with robotics is when you can simulate the movement of the human hand. The human hand is very complex. But once a robot can duplicate a human hand, then the robot can do that. It's at that point that the robot can do anything a human can, because they're little intricate things. Like, think, for example, a watchmaker. That's one of the most delicate, trades. is to put together a hand to make a watch, but it takes extreme dexterity. There are very few tasks which require more dexterity than building a watch, because you're building these tiny pieces. You look through a magnifying glass, but only a human can do that, because it's a humans. It's the key to invention. It's the key to so much progress, and human survival is something that humans may take for granted. It's the hands. The human hands are just super complex, and they're working on the way technology goes. Sooner or later, they'll make that breakthrough, and when they do, a computer can pretty much do. It'll start doing things like build its own computer and improve itself and build AI itself. But it's already more intelligent than humans. The hand is so. The hands represent action as well.
I think that's just, I think it's amazing you're talking about that, because once again, just another example where they show the skull and bones, but look, they even emphasize the hands right here.
Yeah.
You know, the two hands coming together with the skull and bones right there. It's screaming at you.
Yeah, that's another great observation. I wonder what the sand means, but yeah. So the hands. So the reason the hands are so very crucially important, they're huge. That is the crucial point at which you can honestly say AI robots can completely replace humans. Because right now, that's the one thing that, unless they have this advanced technology already, because they do have advanced technology which they have not shown the public. So they may have it, but they have not shown the public yet. Because what we see is not what the latest technology is. The latest technology might not be seen to the public in 30, 40. They had the internet, fiber optics in the 60s. Once a robot can imitate the human hand, then it can do everything. And then they can just replace everything. Like, there are certain jobs now which cannot be replaced by robotics and AI. Yeah, but that's because they have not yet developed the hand movements, those intricate movements of the hand. And well,
yeah, I was just gonna say, it makes me think of like the hands of time. Shout out Mojave for saying the sand is time, right? So there could be a symbology there. And you know, shout out to Aom. I don't know. I think I'm trying to get the hang of it, but says, I see the number 4 to 3 fingers. You got 4 fingers versus 3. Crucifixion of Jesus may have occurred on April 3rd, you know, AD, written 4-3. So it could be something there. Just for context, you guys, this is like the little giant, the little kid who's trying to get his courage to go up against the big bad Cowboys. And you got these former, you know, NFL players, most of them being Raiders. Now that I think about it, you had Emmitt Smith, who was a Cowboy, but besides that, you know, you got this guy with his skull and bones. Anyways, yeah. So it could be the sands of time kind of.
Yeah. So skull and bones is an incomplete trinity. It's 2/3 of a trinity, and 2/3 in decimal form is 0.666, which is why 666 can be, among many other things, can represent evil, because you have thought and action with no emotion.
Right.
And that's only 2/3. And the first, famously, Apple computer. So it's really appropriate that they buy a computer. How much did the very first Apple computer cost? It cost $666.
Just to show you guys I'm not lying, like, this is a computer down here in the corner of the scene.
And he's wearing blue. I mean, the Giants are Big Blue, but Big Blue is also the name of a IBM computer. Big Blue is also an IBM. So I can see the computer symbolism here in AI. The Giants are Big Blue.
Mm-hmm.
And Big Blue is an IBM computer. In fact, Big Blue, one of the breakthroughs is Big Blue defeated the world human chess champion. For a while, AI was lagging behind humans, but there was a breakthrough where it was Big Blue that defeated the world's human best chess player. And now no human can compete with, but it was IBM's Big Blue. So there's a big computer thing clearly here. When you see the Skull and Bones is so connected to computers because it is
It's right here.
Yeah.
No, I'm just saying it's
IBM. Yeah, of course, IBM. That's another company with Nazi ties. It's a big New World Order company. And yeah, Blue. You talk about Blue Origin. Blue is very significant, but Blue with computers with IBM, Big Blue did defeat a human, and Big Blue also competed in Jeopardy too, as well. They had, Big Blue. Of course, humans aren't going to compete. So Big Blue has defeated basically humans in any intelligence test, I guess, or game. And 666 is a computer code. The first Apple computer 666. That's that's 2/3, which is 2/3 of fraternity, which is no heart. So heart is the only thing that AI cannot duplicate. It's the thing that makes a human a human.
And don't forget that New York equals 666 in Sumerian. And of course, we have the underdog Little Giants representing New York, the Giants, so you got that as well. Playing against the Cowboys, it makes me wonder, like, why were the Cowboys chosen for this other than them being like America's team, even though they haven't won shit for God knows how long now. But
yeah. John Madden, so talking about AI, and with the Matrix, there's the whole theory of the world we live in, being a computer simulation, that we live in a simulation.
Mm-hmm.
And what is John Madden known for, besides being his work in football, for creating a simulation? John Madden is known for creating a simulation, which is
the video game,
right? And in fact, he died. So he made the video John Madden Football with EA Sports,
mm-hmm.
which is called Entertainment Arts, I believe it's called. The founder of Entertainment Arts, her name is Trip Hawkins. His birthday is December 28th. Trip Hawkins, so the founder of EA, known for John Madden Football. His birthday is December 28th. That's the day on which John Madden died. He died on the birthday of the founder of EA Sports. So John Madden is directly associated with computers. So I just saw this image and it's just screaming computer. In fact, I didn't even realize the computer until you pointed it out. But just seeing Madden in the blue, Skull and Bones, that's all AI simulation computer themed.
Yeah, like it's kind of hard to tell. Like, what is this up top here? It's a printer, essentially. Like, the kid makes his little plays on the computer and then they print it out up here. But yeah, this is all a computer. And I wouldn't expect you to have anything on this, Rambo or Cody, but just a very big common theme in this movie is the play called the annexation of Puerto Rico. It's like the big con man play at the very end of the game where the Little Giants come out and beat the Cowboys. You know what I mean? But like, it's just interesting that that's the name of it.
Yeah. I have a quick little decode on this. This is interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, please.
So this actually ties to Back to the Future. Interestingly enough. So notice how John Earl, and again, shout out to Derek, because Derek's been on these codes for a long time before Derek's talked about John Madden and the 888 for years, I think. Mm-hmm. But John Earl Madden equals 888, right? Look at the name of the movie, Little Giants, 888. Like Time Traveler, 888. And even John Madden equals 88, right? So this ties to Trump too, because Donald J. Trump equals 888, Trump equals 88. But
the coaches, by the way, I'm sorry, Cody, really quick. The coaches are kind of time traveling, like going back to their childhood, like dealing with their own like big brother, younger brother stuff.
Yeah.
Playing vicariously through their teams. So
right.
That's another alignment there with the time travel theme.
But what really makes this super interesting is in Back to the Future, Doc Brown is the one who does the time. He builds the machine, right? Doc Brown. Well, we've talked about before, Derek, he's always talking about lunation numbers, Brown lunation. That's what they call it. It's the Brown lunation number. Guess what Brown lunation number Little Giants came out in?
Oh my God, dude. Wow.
So this again proves you got to look at the Brown lunation stuff. You got to look at the Brown lunation. It's so important, these numbers. I mean, I just showed you John Earl Madden 888, Little Giants 888. It comes out in Brown lunation 888. Doc Brown time traveler equals 888. Like, so now, and look at what date it came out, 10/14, Charlie Kirk's birthday. His one year birthday. And this was Jared Goff's birthday. This was the exact day Jared Goff was born. And guess what Jared Goff equals?
Get the hell out of here, dude.
So that on Jared Goff's birthday, guys, it came out, and Jared Thomas Goff equals 888. So now we have a whole riddle to look in with Jared Goff.
I would be really curious what you would have to share about Devin Sawa, who played the quarterback for the Little Giants in that movie. Devin Sawa, he was in Final Destination. He was in Wild America. He was kind of a teenage heartthrob, so to speak, back in the day. But yeah, he was the quarterback. Becky, the girl that we talked about, the female main character, the whole movie, she has a crush on, his name's Junior, by the way, in the movie. But he's a quarterback. And funny enough, he's throwing toilet paper down the hallways of a grocery store. That's how they find him and recruit him to be the quarterback. But yeah, I just thought I got a feeling you would have something
Junior
crazy.
Floyd? Wait, he has George. This came out on George Floyd's birthday too. Devin Sawa plays Junior Floyd.
Dude, that's what I'm saying. Devin Sawa isn't like the main character, but he is the quarterback of the Little Giants in the movie. He's the pretty boy, essentially.
Huh.
His last name was Floyd. Wow.
Yeah, in the movie, yeah. He's in a movie called SLC Punk. Interesting. We were just talking about CM Punk.
Yeah.
Let me just check and see his gematria real fast here. He's got the Donald Trump 6159.
Check out his middle name, yeah. Huh. Okay.
I would have to see. I bet there. I mean, this connection right here is super clear. I mean, Jared Goff's birthday, his literal birthday, guys, the exact day he was born. Little Giants comes out, and it's exact matched it to his name, 888, and it came out in Lunation 888. Like, I mean, wow.
This Fernando Mendoza stuff too, with him most likely going to the Raiders too, I think is interesting. Just in light of the fact that there are so many Oakland Raiders that are in this movie with all the Skull and Bones stuff, you know, and Fernando Mendoza saying he wanted to be a member of Skull and Bones when he was at Yale. Like, there's got to be something there. I don't think I'm reaching at all. I just stumbled upon the movie that I haven't seen since I was a kid, and next thing you know, I was like, look at the red Corvette, the red car, Skull and Bones, everything that we've all been talking about for like a year now. I was just blown away that it was all right there screaming at me in this movie. So
I'm going to have to definitely think, or I mean, I wasn't planning on doing a Little Giants decode, but I mean, it looks like I'm going to have to at least for the next season, you know, I mean, Jared Goff's connection.
That's what I'm saying. Is like just kind of looking at those two teams. Like I'm not hinting at anything about either of these teams winning or doing anything, but I'm like, that movie's a cult classic for sure. And yeah. I'm very confident that at some point there's going to be a real strong alignment with symbology of that movie. I just don't know when, you know?
So there was a New York Giants connection to the Artemis II, which I brought up last week, is the astronaut Victor Glover, who went to Caltech. When he was at Caltech, his football coach. He played football at Caltech. I didn't know that Caltech played football. They're all these rocket scientists, but yeah, they have a football team, and his head coach, his coach, I think his head coach. Well, he coached Victor Glover, one of the astronauts on Artemis 2. Well, his most recent job was as the defensive line coach for the New York Giants. Now, I don't know if he'll still be the defensive line coach for the Giants, because the Giants have brought in a new head coach, which is John Harbaugh. And sometimes when you get a new head coach, you get new, they shuffle. They might bring in a new defensive line coach. But that's the connection of the Giants to the Artemis 2.
Hey, Cody, really quick. And we're about to land the plane here shortly. I know we're just over the 2-hour mark, but I just thought of another thing with this movie. And Cody, you might remember, I know Rambo, you haven't seen it, but Cody, if you wouldn't mind sharing your screen again, would you mind just Googling The Little Giants? And you might remember this whole hand scene. There was the little kid who was the receiver, and then he thought he would be funny by putting sticky goop in his hands. And then there was a really funny scene where it gets stuck on his jersey. You know what I'm talking about? If you search Little Giants hands, sticky hands or something, it just kind of hit the top of my head because of what Rambo was talking about when we were talking about John Madden and how important the hands are. And it's in that movie too. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. This is exactly what I'm talking about. Because his whole thing is that the kid can't catch the ball. So he's like, oh, I got an idea. I'm just going to put sticky goop on my hands and there's no way I can miss the ball. And then right before the ball snaps, the goop gets stuck to his jersey and he can't catch the ball. But it just goes back to the hands thing. I just want to share that. What number is he wearing? What is that? 88? Oh, there you go. There's your 88s again. And then shout out Mr. S pointing out, don't forget about Jared Goff, the Lions and Lionsgate, 88. So you got that connection too. But anyways, yeah, that's pretty much all I had, you guys. I know I kind of put you guys on the spot with some of that stuff I was watching last night, but
that would be really interesting.
Turned into something really cool.
It's really interesting too that this actor, this quarterback, on the day that movie came out, which is the day Jared Goff was born, he was 16. He was 1.618 golden ratio.
And
that's nothing to, that's how old he was. And it would be even crazier if this movie came out just a few days later, he would have been 5.888 days old. You see?
Yeah.
So
Devin
6 days later, he would have been 5.888 days old, and that would have been still in Brownlow Nation 888. So yeah, even though he didn't turn that on the exact day, I think it's really interesting that just a few days later, be interesting to see if the movie had a secondary release and maybe it came out on October 20th somewhere, because maybe that's also part of the because that's just a few days later the guy turned 5.888 days old.
Once again, it makes me think about Fernando Mendoza. I almost wonder if this movie actually ties a lot into Fernando Mendoza.
Yeah.
The future Raider.
It's something we'll have to look at for sure. The first thing that stood out to me was I should probably share this with Derek. As much as he's talked about 888s with John Madden, and to think that this movie is completely tied into that. And there's probably more. Like I said, maybe this will be a decode to come back to when the football season's going on. Wonder if the Giants play the Lions this year or something.
Yeah, or anytime the Giants play the Cowboys, that's the first thing I think of is this movie.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll wrap it up there, you guys. That's unless, hey, I guess in final closing comments, Rambo, was there anything else that you wanted to share? I still got time, but I just want to be cognizant of everyone else's time, especially you, Cody. I know it's super late or super early for you.
Well, I do have a little. There's a decode you did on Instagram where you brought up a commercial that was played at the Super Bowl in February. It was about, I guess it's a motivational video for kids, which it kind of ties into this. Actually, a good segue. Actually, the reason I thought it was relevant is because it had a lot to do with the things that Myron brought up. So I didn't really have a chance to really build on the connections I had with Myron's decode. But I'll at least I have this. But you'll remember this commercial. And
tied in with the chains thing that happened with that player. Yeah,
because so Myron was bringing up, he was emphasizing the Warriors and Stephen Curry and how he plays for the Warriors, Golden State Warriors, and how Warriors was actually a theme with the New England Patriots this past season because they were the road warriors because they went undefeated on the road in the NFL last season. They did not lose a single road game. So they called themselves the Road Warriors, and they motivated themselves by watching the movie, the 1979 cult classic, The Warriors, which I did watch. The Warriors was about a gang in New York City who have to get back home. They're from Coney Island, New York. They're in the Bronx. They need to get from the Bronx back to Coney Island and get through a gauntlet of other gangs. And that's what the Road Warriors is about. They're on the road. It ties into what a lot of what Myron was talking about with Warriors. But the reason initially, even when you showed me this on Instagram, when you talked about this commercial, is because the coach, again, this ties right into the Little Giants. It's actually a really good segue. The coach in this ad, and I got this from you, I would have known this not for you, AJ. The team he's coaching is the Warriors. And you were talking about, this is Mac Hollins, who showed up at the Super Bowl dressed like Hannibal Lecter, wearing maroon scrubs in ankle shackles and wrist shackles. He was in his hands while he was shackled. He was holding a jersey that said Warriors, look just like the jersey in this ad. So I'll just play this ad anyway. It does segue well with this Little Giants.
All right, listen up. Today we face our toughest opponent. They may be bigger, stronger, faster, but I'll never surrender. Who am I? I am a champion.
I'm unbreakable, unstoppable, unbelievable.
You see the jersey there with Warriors?
Weakness will not be in my heart. Defeat will not be in my creed. Who am I? I'm a champion! I'm a monster, a beast.
No one will defy me or deny me.
Who am I? I'm a champion. Belief is my superpower.
This should look familiar. I'll address this. This image, does this look familiar? A black man in an orange spaceship. Where have we seen that? Now this was done in back in January, February, like beginning of last year, maybe the end of 2025. But okay.
It has moved mountains.
It has put a man on the moon.
I believe in myself even when I
put a man on the moon. You know,
others doubt me.
Who am I? I am a champion.
History will remember me.
You were just talking about the song Roar. Remember you were singing the song Roar?
Oh, yeah. Should I do it again?
Yeah. But we'll get to the Roar there because what he keeps saying, I am a champion over and over.
And the world will know my name. Who am I?
I'm a champion. Who am I? I'm a champion.
Who am I?
I am a champion.
There's so much there, but just on the champion thing, because you brought up Katy Perry.
Yeah.
And so Roar, I guess you didn't know all the lyrics there. I'll get to the other stuff, but the Katy Perry Roar, which you brought up, because she did see the performance of Roar in 2013 for the VMAs under the Brooklyn Bridge. This tied into what Myron was talking about, the bridge. It's the bridge on the Golden State Warriors.
God. Okay.
But look at the lyrics. What I just showed there, the lyrics of the chorus of Roar. I got the eye of the tiger, a fighter, dancing through the fire, because I am a champion. That's what they said throughout that commercial. And you're going to hear me roar louder, louder than the lion, because I am a champion. So that commercial has the lyrics of Roar. Which you
that is
up.
So freaking perfect. I saw you also got you got Myron's other image about Ray Allen in there, playing Jesus Shuttlesworth and all that. But,
if he was here, I would have shown him maybe later.
Yeah,
but,
yeah.
But I took a still of that image, and this is done in late 2025 before the Super Bowl. They did this. So we know what they were alluding to here.
This was a very recent commercial. Yeah, I want to say it was this was played during the Super Bowl. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. So this what were they alluding to here? Well, we think now we know. At the time, we didn't know. An African American, clean shaven astronaut in orange. Now look at this.
My God, man!
Look at this. This is the image. This is the image.
Dude.
So that was fast. So I mean, it's not like it's predictive programming, but they knew who they were referring to. They already had identified. By that time, you've already identified Victor Glover. That's not a decision you make, a couple weeks or a couple months before. But
a champion is a victor, right? So Victor. They keep saying champions in the video. Champion, Victor.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but
Victor Von Doom reminds me of a Victor Von Doom from the Marvel character.
Think of Victor Wembanyama. What do they call him? The alien.
Yeah, space. Yeah, that's the space connection. But yeah, to the champion, those are the Roar lyrics. Yeah, I'll edit with that. It's really fascinating. I mean, there's other connections around Warrior. So yeah, his team was the Warriors. He had the Warriors sweatshirt. But when Mac Hollins, when he showed up at the Super Bowl, the shirt he's wearing, you can't really see it too clearly. It says Warriors, but then he wore it during warm-up. He's warming up before the Super Bowl. So this is how he showed up to the Super Bowl.
And it's the same colors as in the commercial. If you look closely, like it's not.
Yeah, it's the same colors. It's the
same exact colors. Yeah.
But what jersey was this that he was holding? And then he wore it. So this is actually Mike Vrabel's high school jersey. He went to Walsh Jesuit in Ohio. This is his head coach Mike Vrabel shirt. Warriors 84. It looks just like the shirt, the sweatshirt in the ad. I don't know where that is, but the sweatshirt in the ad. I took the still. Yeah, it's black with maroon writing with yellow trimmings. That's exactly what. That's the jersey of Mike Vrabel's high school, which Mac Hollins wore. While he wore maroon, these are scrubs. So a lot of people look at this and think he's wearing a prison outfit. This is not a prison outfit. This is what they wear in hospitals. Maroon scrubs. I've seen people in public with maroon scrubs. I guess they just come from the hospital after work or something. But he's wearing the Warriors because again on the Steph Curry Warriors thing, and it's Mike Vrabel, which Walsh Jesuit has retired. It's number 84. This is Mike Vrabel, class of 93, jersey retirement from Walsh Jesuit. It's number 84. 84, that's Mike Vrabel. And Mike Vrabel's actually in the news right now because of an affair he's having. Sonny Mike Vrabel's in the news. He's married, and then he's been pictured. This is his wife, but he's been pictured with this woman who's not his wife. She's a reporter. She's a television reporter, and she's at the Super Bowl. And he's been pictured in very intimate situations, dancing and being very close. And that's the controversy now because that's not his wife. She's a news reporter. Her name is Diana Rossini. That's the big thing. And that ties into my whole Baphomet thing, which ties into the tarot card, the male-female, the lover's card. So that's what this is relating to. But yeah, the most fascinating thing, besides the Roar lyrics of champion, I am the champion. And I didn't even know you'd bring up the Katy Perry thing. But it ties in with the bridge symbolism you're talking about. But this image from that ad, how this is what they were signaling.
I mean, I didn't know you were going to be able to boomerang this back to this ad that you and I talked about months ago and everything else. It's just amazing.
I didn't even realize it. I just rewatched it just right before the show started. I said, let me look up on YouTube that ad because it had to do more with Myron's decode. This is a Warriors related decode. And then while looking at the ad, because now I'm looking at it differently because I saw it back then. Remember when you sent me around the time of the Super Bowl? I'm looking at it now from the lens of, middle April in 2026 after Artemis 2, then I see this from today's lens. Like, wait a minute, that's a very familiar image. And I just figured that out. It's this an hour before the show. So yeah, very fascinating connections there.
Unbelievable, Rambo. Like seriously, that every single week this happens. That's why I love this show so much.
And you were doing the Roar stuff. You were singing Roar at the, with doing your.
I'm not going to do it again. Go back and rewind and.
Well, you did it a couple of times. No, you weren't shy. You did it. You put a good effort. But it was I am the champion. You said repeatedly in the chorus of Roar. That's the what's repeated. That's the theme of that ad too. So that ad has a lot of significance too. And the whole Warriors thing, and with Vrabel in the news again with so much connects.
Roar sounds like war. It's pretty close. But yeah, Cody, any final things really quick? I gotta go get Cooper, but I'll be right back.
I'll wait till you. I got something, but you'll want to see this, so I'll wait till you get back.
Okay, all right. Well, so let me just leave it here. I promise I'll be right back, you guys.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah.
Okay, I can talk a little bit about the Warriors because Myron had talked about the Golden State Warriors. Do I have a no? Okay. He had talked about the Golden State Warriors and Stephen Curry. And so Warriors was a theme with the New England Patriots having gone undefeated for the entire season last year. And they called themselves the Road Warriors. And they motivated, again, this is, I believe that this came from above the Patriots. The Patriots didn't come up with this. It's part of a theme that, it's part of the building blocks of this Matrix script that they had. It's the movie Warriors because it was about a gang. It's a 1979 cult classic called The Warriors from New York City, who originated in their home turf is in Coney Island, New York. Coney Island is in the southern end of New York, in Brooklyn, of southern end of New York City, like southeast, and the Bronx is in the north. You got to cross the East River using the Brooklyn Bridge that connects to Manhattan, and then to the north of Manhattan is the Bronx. Just for those who are not familiar with New York City, that's the layout. So the Warriors gang is in the Bronx. They need to get back to Coney Island, but because of certain things that happen in the movie, at the time New York City is overrun by gangs. Gangs pretty much run New York, but street gangs. And the Warriors have to get from the Bronx back to their home turf. And so they have to go through the Bronx, through Manhattan, get across the bridge, get through Brooklyn, and finally get to Coney Island, which is on the southern end, running a whole gauntlet of gangs. And that's why it motivated the New England Patriots, because they were the Road Warriors. So the metaphor they're making is the fact that, we went on the road like the Warriors in the movie, and just faced a gauntlet of all the gangs, and we made it through the season undefeated. So that's so it's Stephen Curry Warriors. So this is like a Boston.com inside the origin of the Patriots Road Warriors rallying cry. That was their road rallying cry. This is Mike Vrabel here. And at the Super Bowl, this is Mac Hollins of the New England Patriots I just talked about. He showed up wearing Mike Vrabel's. So something. So how does this all tie in? It just happens that they are Road Warriors and go undefeated, and it just happened that Mike Vrabel's high school was called the Warriors. So he just happens to coach. He's a first-year coach too. He's not an experienced coach. He's first year, and he can coach a team undefeated on the road. That's never been done by a rookie coach. That's unheard of. And he just happens to have gone to a team called the Warriors. So his wide receiver shows up with his high school jersey, Warriors, ties into the movie. His jersey was retired. And then in the ad I showed is Warriors. How does this all coordinate? So none of this is organic. And I talked about this image, which is quite amazing. So this is a little brief mention on the description of the plot of the movie The Warriors. It's the Warriors, a gang from Coney Island. So I already hoped Myron would have been here to see this because he had done a decode last week. It's about Coney Island and Ray Allen, the basketball player in the movie He Got Game. How he's from Coney Island. And as soon as I saw that, I just thought about the movie The Warriors. So
that's brilliant, Rambo. Yeah, I wish Myron was here, but
because it tied right into the Coney Island. So I'll bring that up again next time he's on. But I'll let Cody get to his thing.
Yeah, Cody. So sorry about that, you guys.
No, it's okay. Cooper's important. I don't
can't keep him waiting. You know what I mean?
No, I understand.
All right, Cody, what do you got for us?
Yeah, it's just real quick, but just to add to the obvious 888 connections with this movie, and you mentioned the quarterback for the team in the movie, Junior Floyd. Guess what Junior Floyd equals? Or guess what Junior Floyd equals?
Oh my God, man.
I mean, Jared Thomas Goff, the quarterback born that day, equals 888, comes out in Lunation 888. Lloyd sounds like Floyd. Doc Brown is played by Christopher Lloyd.
Oh, yeah. Oh, good.
This is also George Floyd's birthday. I mean, there's so much here, man. With this is like, this would be a whole loaded decode for probably another time. But I mean, I'll definitely be bringing this to another time because I'll definitely remember this from now on with Jared Goff.
Definitely another time for sure. This is going to come up again. Just final emphasis on the reason why I was like taking screenshots and stuff was all because of the Skull and Bones stuff. I was like, oh my God, Skull and Bones, like there's flags in the background. Becky's got Skull and Bones on her head. It's right behind John Madden, and then of course he's coming out of a bus called Walker Advantage, Walker, Skull and Bones. And then the main villain, so to speak, of the movie is driving a red Corvette. I mean, it's all right there. We've been talking about this for a long time. And I don't even know why I started watching it. It just popped up on my feed and I was like, hey, I haven't seen this movie in a while. So
yeah, that's what I mean. You don't really, that's the same thing with me in Smallville. I had no idea why I was so drawn and why I was talking about 414 and then it ends up becoming relevant. It's kind of weird.
Yeah.
But yeah, another thing, John Madden died on 12/28. And look at the video premiere. Look at there's two. These are release dates, and there's two times. There's only one date that appears twice on here, and it's December 28th. Australia released this video premiere on December 28th, 1995, and then 3 years later, the United Kingdom released a video premiere on December 28th, 1998. And when did John Madden die?
Hold on. On that page, could you scroll up just a little bit? I think I saw it on that window. Yep, right there. There's your October 14th.
Yeah, that's the original release date.
Okay.
That's the Jared Goff's birth right there.
Yeah.
But it actually, interestingly enough, it actually released in one Senate. The wide release was on October 14th, but the general cinema, the first premiere, I guess, would have been on 8/8. Think about how October is the 8th. Oct is 8. So it actually So you got your 8th thing. I mean, this is all about the 888. It's clear. And again, but like I said, the fact that there was two releases of this movie on December 28th, and again, John Madden would go on to die on December 28th, years later. So that's a clear clue for his death date. And it's interesting that the two countries that released that on that date was Australia and the UK, which are obviously.
Could you look up Trip Hawkins?
Trip Hawkins.
Yeah, Trip Hawkins. That Trip is his nickname, but he's known as Trip Hawkins. Because he's the founder of EA Sports, who made Madden football. And you see his birthday.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because he's the founder of EA Sports. Yeah,
Oh my God.
Yeah. Again, I talk about the computer symbolism. You're showing with Madden next to the computer, EA Sports simulation. It's all about AI simulation. That's what.
And once again, that's essentially the secret sauce that the Little Giants have is technology, the annexation of Puerto Rico, making this crazy juke move play to win the game, you know. But like, it just makes me think about Puerto Rico and Bad Bunny and all these things that, you know, we've been seeing with, you know, Drake and Puerto Rico and, you know, U.S. territory and Venezuela. And like, it's like, oh, maybe this movie is a little bit more relevant right now than in years past.
Yeah, I didn't know this part, but oh my gosh, his name equals 888. Are you coding me, folks? Like, again, like a lot of people are like, you could be like people like Zach Hubbard and say, I'm just pulling these numbers out of my ass here and just like saying these decodes are going way too deep and you could keep it simple like he wants. But again, if you don't do this, I mean, what's the odds? Again,
for the sake of the audience, hold on really quick, Cody. I'm so sorry. I don't mean to be rude. For the sake of the audience, Rambo, Cody, have you and did any three of us have a conversation even this week? Have any of us talked in the past week? No. I'll say no.
Yeah, because I've done decodes on the AI symbolism, on the skull and bones. I didn't know you do skull and bones. How it ties into the computers, thought, action, emotion. And AI computers don't have emotion, only humans have. And I've done I've done stuff on John Madden and Trip Hawkins and EA Sports and the whole computer AI theme. So that's why
my whole point is like none of this was you can't plan this, you guys. I threw out Little Giants out of nowhere and here we go. Like unbelievable, you guys. Seriously.
Yeah, but yeah, that was the connection. So the Big Blue is the connection. Big Blue is a IBM computer.
Blue Origin. There you go.
Yeah, and it's also the nickname of the New York Giants. But it's an IBM computer, very significant computer. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
I'm sorry, Cody, for being an asshole.
No, it's good. I'm just still shocked, to be honest. I'm like,
me too.
Like it's just like, man, like, and that's the thing too, is like he's known by the name Trip Hawkins, you know, like, so his name is not even Trip, it's William, right? But
I'm not sure what IAOM means by this. Maybe Rambo.
No, because the glyph for not the glyph, like but the symbol of Capricorn is the goat. It's a sea goat.
It's the 6-7 or the 7-6, right? 7-6.
Yeah, but it's a goat. Like the symbol for Capricorn.
Yeah.
It's a goat with a fishtail. Yeah.
Yep.
But yeah,
and he did work for Apple. I didn't know he worked for Apple. Okay, I didn't know that.
That's huge too, because it goes back to the Little Giants, New York, the Big Apple. See, Apple. Wow.
And the first Apple computer was $666. Why? Because 0.666 is 2 divided by 3, which is 2/3 of a trinity, which is the skull and bones, but no heart. That's why it's connected to computers. Computers don't have, you can't duplicate a human emotion.
Another one that kind of fits in is, I noticed that the trinity equals 888.
The Trinity. I mean, yeah, exactly. 2/3 of the Trinity.
And think about how Jesus is part of the Trinity, and the Greek value of Jesus is 888. It's a huge, I mean, it goes back to Jesus, because that's the Greek value of Jesus is 888. And I believe Jewish Messiah is 888 also, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. So.
Dude, wow.
And of course, Time Traveler and Donald J. Trump and I mean, there's a lot of 888s. I mean, it's
so
yeah,
there's another 888 connection with Time Traveler and Lloyd and Christopher Lloyd playing Doc Brown and Back to the Future. I know, Cody, you're the one who brought this to my attention. The commercial that the Boston Bruins hockey team did with Michael J. Fox, with a Back to the Future themed commercial for the release of their new hockey jersey for this season, and it featured,
wheel and all that.
It featured Cam Neely, and Cam Neely, I think his title is president or something of the Boston Bruins. He's a Hall of Famer with the Bruins, but he's now the president, retired. But he's in that commercial. He's in his office, and this is his real office. It's not a studio thing. And on the office, he has 2 framed jerseys of his. He wore jersey number 8, but the way he has the jerseys in the framed jerseys is you have the sleeves folded. He wears number 8, and there are 8s on each sleeve and an 8 on the back of the jersey, below his name, Neely. So it's 888 in those 2 frames with Cam Neely's jersey. I pointed that out. And that ties into the Back to the Future theme of that commercial, and Christopher Lloyd and Michael J. Fox. So that was another 888, like a visual, not a gematria, but a visual 888.
I was meaning to ask you guys really quick, and I'm sorry, Rambo, if there was something else you were going to say. I was just going to ask. I sent it to our group chat on Discord. What were your thoughts on the whole thing about, oh, Michael J. Fox is dead? No, he's not. Like, that's wild to me, because we, like, especially Rambo, he's been talking about Michael J. Fox for a very long time. And like, you got to think that's some sort of ritual. Like, that's got to be hinting at something.
Derek did a good decode on that, because the same day that it was announced that he had died, it was obviously people thought he died of Parkinson's, right? Well, the same day, instead of him dying, a coach from a former coach, baseball player and coach for the Brewers, died of Parkinson's. And remember how Rambo had talked about the connection between Miller and Back to the Future. And of course, the Brewers used to play, their field's no longer called Miller Park, but when I think of the Brewers, I think of the Miller, because they used to have the Miller Park, they used to have the Miller. So really, it goes back to Rambo's decode from months ago, that this Brewer coach dies of Parkinson's on the day they supposedly kind of announced that Michael J. Fox had died of Parkinson's, and it connects to Miller, right?
Yeah.
So and Derek did a whole decode on that. I believe he has a whole post on his blog about that guy's death. So the funny thing was, I was like one of the first people to see that, because I just happened to hit like my Google search, and something popped up where Michael J. Fox, remembering the life of Michael J. Fox, and this was before I saw anyone else. I think I saw this post like within a minute of CNN posting it, and I immediately sent it.
All I did was take a screenshot and send it to the Discord, where I was like, "What is this?" Like, I don't have much else other than that.
Yeah. So like I said, before you had sent yours though, I had sent it also, like, higher in the chat. I know you probably didn't scroll through and see it, but like before that, I had sent it like right when it came out, and I sent it to Derek, and I was like, isn't this interesting? And then Derek immediately said, I think Derek and then Casey both had said something about it, and then a few minutes later, Derek's like, oh, look, this guy died today of Parkinson's. So I was like, oh, well, maybe that's. But then immediately is what I thought was like, oh, this confirms more of Rambo's Miller Back to the Future decodes from months ago. That's the first thing I thought, was that connection.
First thing I thought, was the fact that we've been talking about Michael J. Fox essentially for a year at this point.
More than that,
Yeah, at least. And then here he is popping up. Oh, he's dead. No, he's not. Huh. Interesting. Okay. Unbelievable. The fact that you caught that 888 with the Trip, what was his name? Trip Hawkins? I was like, do we just keep going? We're just going to find more and more 888.
I mean, I could, because there's a guy in the movie called Tim Brown, the wide receiver Tim Brown. He's in the movie, like Doc Brown. Born on 7/22.
Which relates to Brown Lunation 888.
Isn't that Cleveland's founding date? Isn't that Cleveland's founding date? Home of the Browns?
What, July 22nd?
Yeah, July 22nd. I'm pretty sure that's Cleveland's founding date, bro.
Cleveland?
I mean, home of the Browns, right? That's the reason.
Yeah, let me look. Yeah, it is.
There you go.
So Tim Brown.
Oh my God, you guys. Oh God.
And so you have Tim Brown in the movie. Just want to see if there's any 888. I gotta check for the. Oh, he has the 322 in caps.
See that?
Just want to see. Tim Brown.
It's got those LeBron James numbers from Cleveland.
He does, yeah. He does have the LeBron James. But there's another Brown in the movie too. They really hit it. Look, Emmett Smith and Tim Brown. Emmett Brown.
Oh yeah.
Huh.
Okay.
Well, I knew
Look,
Emmett
right there, the
Smith
last
was-
two guys.
Yeah. Huh.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. For shits and gigs, Cody, did the Giants play the Cowboys last year?
Yeah, they're in the same division. They always play each other.
Oh, okay.
They play it twice a year. Yeah.
Okay. I'm just curious, just to see what the score was of that game. Giants Cowboys. I don't even know if the schedule next
They'll
year
play
is.
twice. They play each other twice.
Why would they even be in the same division? I guess I always think from an NBA perspective. But anyways. 34-17.
I could have sworn Jackson Dart has an 888 too. Hold on.
Well,
I think
Jackson's a very big hot name these days. Jesse Jackson, Michael Jackson.
Maybe I was wrong. I thought that the Giants quarterback Jackson Dart had, maybe it's somewhere I saw, but yeah, the Cowboys. So they split the series last year.
Okay.
But yeah, I remember it was all about the 40s last year with the Cowboys. They scored 40 points, the 4-4-4s and the 40s. Interesting, 4-4-4 is half of 888 because the Cowboys had all the 4-4-4s last year. You know, remember all the 4-4-4 stuff?
Mm-hmm.
And, 4-4-4 plus 4-4-4 is 888. So I don't know
about all the stuff going on with what's his name, quarterback of the Cowboys.
Dak.
Yeah.
Dak
Dak's got all this stuff going on with his wife, and gonna get married. Then they cancel the wedding, and now they're working on divorce stuff. Or you get my point, custody stuff, and then but Jackson, the fact that you mentioned Jackson Dart, Cody, is kind of intriguing to me too. Just with all the Jackson stuff lately, the death of Jesse Jackson, that was a big one. You got the movie of Michael Jackson. Who knows? Maybe Jackson Dart has a season. Yeah,
I'm just curious because there's another Brown in this movie.
Yeah, how many Browns are there? 2, 3?
There's 2 actors with the last name Brown in the actors.
I had no idea we were gonna dive this deep into it, but I'm glad that we're having some fun with it.
Well, I mean, it's just crazy how it started, because I just saw that. I just happened to look at the movie when it came out, and I was like, it came out in Lunation 888, and then I remembered that Derek has done so many decodes on John Madden.
It came out on George Floyd's birthday, and the quarterback of the Little Giants is Junior Floyd.
Right, exactly, which equals 888. So
dude, this is crazy, dude. Wow.
But yeah, it just steamrolled from there once I saw that it came out in Lunation 888, and then I knew about the John Madden his name equaling 888. I knew that. So
yeah.
But then to find out that it came out on Jared Goff's exact day he was born, and Jared Goff's name equals 888, and then the quarterback for the team is 888, Junior Floyd, and Charlie Kirk somehow probably ties into it as well. So
wouldn't surprise me. That's for sure.
I see there are two characters there named Orville and Wilbur, which goes along with the flight theme that I've been talking about. I've been going on and on about the flight theme.
Well, this because it also takes place in Ohio.
Oh yeah, they're from Ohio. Yeah. No,
I must have missed that Wilbur part, Rambo. You know why that stands out to me is the mascot of Arizona. His name's Wilbur. Wilbur the Wildcat. For what it's worth, I mean that's a whole other conversation. But Arizona. Yeah, Rick Moranis. Oh, happy birthday, Rick.
His birthday is that April 18th day, huh? His name is not even Rick. Like, well, yeah, it's Frederick, I guess.
Frederick, yeah.
That reminds me of Donald Trump's dad, Frederick. And you know how Donald Trump is connected with the time traveler stuff.
I think Miller, the founder of Miller Beer, I think his name is Frederick Miller. I think because he's related in my decode. He looks like Guy Fawkes. He's a big part of the Miller thing. And
Miller Beer.
Yeah, founder. His name is Frederick, I believe. It's another. Since we're on the subject of Fredericks.
Yeah. Believe it or not, Cooper has a middle name. His name's Frederick.
Oh, is it really? Is it really?
Yeah, because we got him in Fredericksburg, so we just named him Frederick. His middle name.
Miller Lite, founder.
Well, Miller Beer. Yeah.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, Frederick Miller. Wow.
Another. Since we're on the subject of, it looks like Guy Fawkes. I didn't mind because that was part of my time travel thing.
Yeah, this is crazy how it's all tying together. I need to look at the connection to Little Giants and Back to the Future. I mean, it's clear that there's going to be something there.
Once again, the annexation of Puerto Rico is like the pinpoint of the whole movie.
Oh my gosh,
dude!
Oh my gosh,
I gotta go.
Come on, if anyone's still in the chat right now, I mean, how much more do I have to say?
Are you seeing this? Cooper, come here. Look at this.
Oh my gosh.
Cooper Frederick. Cooper, say hi.
Hi, Cooper.
Look at this, dude.
He's yawning.
Yeah, he's like, yeah. What else you got?
No, he wants decodes on Sirius. If it's not about Sirius, I don't think he's.
Well, I'm not joking. We call him Sir as well. And
yeah, that comes from
Yep. Right, dude. Look at all the 888s, dude. Look at this.
I mean, I can't believe that, man. Cannot believe that. I'm speechless over here. Is anyone else I think everyone else in the chat's speechless too, because I think everyone else is like, what the?
That's why I had to go grab Cooper. Oh, he's he went out of his way to yawn in the mic too. He's like, yep. All right. Anyways, dude, what the heck, man? Wow.
So you did Emmett Brown, because I have a list of 888. Emmett Brown is 888.
Oh yeah, hold on. I forgot about that,
dude. What?
Emmett Brown. Oh wait, did I spell it wrong?
I spelled it
two T's, two M's.
See, I don't know if his name is Emmett. Like, I don't know if this is the correct spelling, but I have it as Memmett.
ETT. Oh.
I don't know if that's the correct one, but that's how I have it.
Yeah, I mean, still, that's I don't know if that is that how you spell it in the movie. Doc Brown. Oh, it is. So yeah, it's how you spell it. Oh my gosh. What in the world, man? Dude. Are you guys in the chat seeing this?
Yeah, where is everybody? Like, what the heck?
Another thing about 888 is what is 888 times 2?
1776.
Yeah, 1776. Yeah, that's why it's a very.
And the Cowboys are America's team. There we go. Okay. Oh. Let's not forget, Israel, the Star of Israel looks a lot like, same colors as the Cowboys star,
No, that's Israel is a hexagram.
It's still a star, though. Like,
The
am I reaching?
It's a pentagram.
Yeah, I guess, I don't know. All I'm saying is, like, there's the symbology still there. Like, it's still got that blue and white color symbolism, I'm not trying to debate you, Rambo. I'm just saying, like, yeah, it's two different shapes, but they're very similar and same colors, Just in my opinion. Mr. S is seeing it.
I'm just looking to see if there's anything quickly on the date durations, but I mean, there's got to be more to this 888. Just about finding it. Yeah. Just trying to see.
Hey, shout out to IAOM. Haven't seen IAOM in our chats lately, but they're on fire right now. Look at this. Emma is timed backwards.
Yeah.
Think about that.
Yeah. Yep.
That's cool. Yeah, no, I love my wordplay. That's perfect. That's a good one.
He's actually Von Braun. They actually code into the movie a nod to the Nazis, to Werner von Braun. So they this is according to Back to the Future canon. They emigrated from the von Brauns, emigrated to the United States, and changed their name to Braun. And another part of it too is that this is part of Back to the Future official canon, is that Doc Brown was actually a colleague of Oppenheimer. That he actually worked on the Manhattan Project.
Really?
Yeah. That's part of Back to the Future canon. Yeah, it is. He worked on the Manhattan Project with Oppenheimer.
Oh my God.
And he's a von Braun. He's yeah. They really went all out.
Something maybe worth mentioning, 888 weeks before this Little Giants came out was October 8th, which is 8/8. And that's, again, the actual premiere of that movie was on October 8th. So if you go back from the wide release, 10/14/1994, you go back 888 weeks, it lands on 8/8, October 8th, which is the premiere date years later. So there's that as well.
Well, and 108 is a very geometry number.
Yeah.
It has with the sun and the moon, especially because they say that the distance from the moon to Earth is 108 moon diameters, and the distance from Earth to the sun is 108 sun diameters, and the diameter of the sun is 108 Earth diameters. So 108, especially with this sun moon thing, we talk about Apollo, Artemis, the twins.
Well, and sun moon is male female, right? And that's a big theme in this movie, is like Becky the Icebox, who's like the best football player, but she's playing against a bunch of boys, and it takes a toll on her to where she wants to be a cheerleader, and that's the only saving grace for the Giants to actually have a chance to beat the Cowboys. So I'm just saying that whole sun and moon theme, male female, is super heavy in that movie.
Another good point to make here would be that, if you go back 888 months, it's going to be 74 years. So it's actually lands on the same date. So October 14th, 888 months back it's the same date, October 14th. So that's another interesting thing, because it's 74 years, which is 888 months.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and somebody in the chat saying also another 888 is time. Is it portals? Yeah.
Oh wow.
So this number is clearly coded in. I just didn't expect this movie to be.
Me neither. I thought we were going to talk about it for like 30 seconds.
But I mean, the fact that it came out in Lunation 888, that's the key. That's what the whole code was about, you know. It just
well, key to the portal, right?
Right. I do need to look and see what was 888 days. You know, I like to do these because I bet you the days is even more important, maybe.
Yeah.
Wait, isn't man, that would be crazy if it landed on that. Is it Frederick Miller's birthday was 5/11, wasn't it?
Yeah, this is May 11th.
Oh man, it's super close. It would be really close to almost 888 days after his birthday anniversary.
Time out. Isn't May 11th Minnesota's founding date? Going back to George Floyd?
I think it is. So it was a span of 887 days after Frederick Miller's this movie came out. 887 days after Frederick Miller's birthday.
Rule of Kal-El, right?
Rule of Kal-El, yeah. I mean, you can call that a coincidence, maybe, but I don't think so. And then 8 days forward. Is March 20th. Interesting. March 20th. Big date. That's that Thelema New Year and the solstice. So 888 days after that movie is the solstice. Or the equinox, sorry. And when I think of the sun and the moon, you know, they make the analemma, you know, which is like an 8. And so the 888 is connected with the sun and moon, the shapes they make. And what was I going to say? Now I forgot, but yeah, the point is there's probably more. I have to just look deeper, and it's probably something with the actors or something with the, you know, even probably something with a Cowboys and Giants game somewhere. There might be in the past, or I bet you there's a connection with one of the Giants Cowboys games. And Jared Goff is super interesting because I'm just wondering how he'll play into the future or when the Lions will play the Giants again. When will he play the Giants, you know? Lions versus Giants.
Yeah, I don't even know if the schedule's out yet.
Oh, last year.
Okay.
They played last year.
What was that? 60? How many points? 61 points.
And remember, his wide receiver is Brown. His go-to.
Well, Amon-Ra, the son.
Exactly.
Playing for the silver team, the Moon.
Now, it's interesting about Amon-Ra's family. He's half German. His mother is German.
Yeah.
So his father's name is Brown. His father's name is John Brown. He added Saint Brown, and this is even in his Wikipedia bio. If you see this on the Amon-Ra Saint Brown Wikipedia, I think it's under the personal life section. His father was considering calling the family Von Brown, which is Doc Brown's original name is Von Braun. His family name is Von Braun.
Dude.
But yeah, they were going to be called Von Braun. That's in the Wikipedia page that they considered the name Von Braun because his mother is German. He speaks German too. He speaks fluent German. Yeah, and he's MAGA. He's a big MAGA guy. Amon-Ra St. Brown.
The other thing too, just random, Cody, I don't know if you jumped in before this point, but just the wordplay. Isn't it funny that Bam Adebayo scores 83 points to surpass Kobe, and then you have the death of Africa Bambaataa? I don't know if you
really?
You had Africa Bambaataa die right after Bam Adebayo. Scores 83 points, the murder number. Totally off topic with where we're at now, but I just wanted to throw that at you too.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. So like Amon Ra. Oh, like rate Ra on the element on the periodic table is element 88.
Just look at the photo though. It looks like an 8, doesn't it?
Yeah, this is the point. This is the analemma is the 8. So this is the shape the sun makes. If you trace the sun throughout the year, it makes the 8, the moon also. So that the 888s, and remember the brown lunation is also about the moon. So but then, like I said, the Ra, if you go to the periodic table, and the Ra on the periodic table is element 88, Amon Ra, Saint Brown. So even Amon Ra Saint Brown is like an eclipse symbolism. He's the sun, the Ra, and the Brown, which is the lunation number. So you got the moon symbolism, and you got the sun in his name, right? The Brown and the Ra.
And if you really want your Charlie Kirk connection, Charlie Brown.
Yeah, exactly. Charlie Brown.
And a big thing of Charlie Brown is the football getting pulled from Charlie Brown's legs, you know? So, wow. Wow, you guys.
Yeah, I think it's pretty clear. There's the moon.
Yeah, I mean, to Rambo's point, the whole sun and moon connection.
Yeah, I think that's all I got. I think that's a good.
Yeah, no, I was just reiterating the sun and moon themes, you know, male, female, spike, the foul, like we touched on that a while back. But yeah, I never thought me just throwing in a couple slides about Little Giants would have taken us to such an amazing little journey there. So thank you guys so much for adding to that, and to shout out to everybody in the chat. Seriously, I was not expecting to go down a tsunami of 888s. Excuse me. But yeah, so let's just wrap it up here, I guess. I mean, final intro closeout. My name's AJ, Balll Don't Lie, 3 L's and Ball. You guys can find me on Instagram and YouTube where we're streaming tonight. Feel free to send me an email, wordplaybook, 3 O's in book at gmail.com. More than happy to send you guys any of the work that I've, put together over the last 6 years or so. Shout out to Rambo, shout out to Cody. I mean, seriously, you two, you guys are true blessings in my life, and I'm always so excited to connect with you guys every single week. It's amazing, seriously. I have a Patreon page. Feel free to go check it out. We had a great night today. Cody, please, for anybody who might be tuning in that's not familiar with you and your work, please let them know where they can find you and support you, my friend.
Yeah, so thanks again, AJ. I appreciate you so much, and appreciate you also, Rambo, and also shout out to Myron. It's awesome having him here, and his amazing connections as well, and just in general, all the connections you guys make, and just being here every week with you guys, even though I'm often late. And thanks to everyone in the chat also for being here every week. And yeah, we'll see what happens the next week. But if you guys want to find me, Decoding with Cody on YouTube, and the support link is buymeacoffee.com/decoding with Cody. So appreciate you all very much.
We love you, Codes, very, very much. Thank you again. I say it every week, but thank you very much for the sacrifices you make for this show. You have a very forgiving bandwidth here. We understand it's tough for you to get up and, hop on in the wee hours that you do. So it means a lot, man. Seriously.
Yeah, it's not so much of a chore for me, really. Just sometimes my eyes don't want to work. I hit the alarm and then I realize, oh, shoot. Like this morning, I was like, I hit the alarm for 5 more minutes because I had time. I set it a bit early and I was like, ugh. Then when I woke up, it was 50 minutes past and I was like, oh my gosh.
It's all good, man. It's all good. Yeah, I just want to echo what you said. Shout out to Myron. He got game. The E's are 3s, H3GOTTGAME_. Go check him out. Or scroll back to the beginning. You guys can find his handle. So thank you guys so much. Thank you, Myron. Thank you, Cody. Thank you, Rambo. Last but certainly not least, Rambo. let everybody know where they can find you and take us home.
Yeah, thank you, AJ, again, for putting this together. Another great stream. And thank you, Cody, for making it and the sacrifice that you have to make and for sharing what you do. Thanks to Myron for being here as well. I wish I could have shared more with him, some of the relevant things I had tied to his decode, but he'll be here back again. We can do that then. And thanks to the chat and everybody, even though those who did not necessarily contribute in the chat, those who viewed, some haven't viewed yet, those who, thank those in advance who will view the show later. All those bring the community together. And this is where I can be found, patreon.com/thetruthcodes and on instagram.com/thetruthcodes.
Spelt exactly the way it sounds. I've said it a million times. I'll say it again. $5 a month, you guys, not a day, not a week. Give him a shot. I promise you, those $5 are going to go way far and beyond than you can ever imagine. I mean that wholeheartedly. Thank you, Rambo, for everything. Thank you, Cody, for everything. Thank you, Myron. Here's a final shout out to Myron. He got game H3GOTTGAM3_. Go show him some love. Go show Cody some love. Go show Rambo some love. We appreciate you guys very, very much. We'll see you guys next Tuesday. Best night of the week. Until next time, take care of yourselves. Peace.
Right. Good night.
See you.
Gymnasium, ultimate battle in the extraterrestrial stadium. It really just be the Mediterranean and Sylvanians. Bloodlines, overtime, dragon descendants, scripting bread and circus lizards in attendance. Serpent queens, breaking dreams, dragging me down. The underworld royalty is all about how much you can clown. I'm talking about the number 9-2. If you didn't know, well now you do. Numerous fears, what's in the hearse? I am who I am, man with a plan. Where you at with the rebellion, one in a million.